Okay, so lesson 6. My tablet is not functioning. Okay. So lesson 6, last week we learned about how to use time, how to mention time, like how to use time in terms of like from what time to what time, or at what time we wake up, right? So we learned how to use time in our sentence. So the first grammar that we learned is actually how to display the time, how to say the time in Japanese. So in English we say the o'clock and then the minutes, right? So in Japanese it's the same thing. We also say the same thing, but in Japanese what is so special is, I mean, in English we just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only one way to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In Japanese there's 2 ways to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's different counting system, alright? So the o'clock, right, is using something more unique than the minutes, right? So the minutes are using what we call the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Then the o'clock is using something that is a little bit different. So instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, you are using shi instead of yon, right? But however, for this o'clock, we don't say shiji, right? Instead, we continue to use yon, but we drop the n sound. So it's not really the alternative reading. There's still some exception to this, right? This one, no choice to memorize. So, right, so 1時、2時、3時、4時, right? Instead of 4時. Then we have also the 7th one, 7時, and the 9, 9時, right? So all these are in our appendix. So we just need to say 今, right now. Like we just give the time reference, right? Now, 今. 午前. So 午前 is in English we say AM, right? However, in English usually we say like 10 AM, we put the AM behind. But Japanese, we outright say at the front, right? So we say 午前1時15分です. Right, so this is how we tell the time in Japanese. I tell people the time. Then moving on to number 2, we also learn the days of the week. Right, for example, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is very similar to like English we say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like the only thing that's repeating is the day. Right? In Chinese, same thing, we have something that's repeating. Right? Then we just, for Chinese, the way how we change the day is just, for example, 星期一 is like day 1, something like that in Chinese. Alright, so Chinese we just need to change the number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Saturday. But in Japanese we don't really use this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 system. Instead they use the elemental system, right? So this one is a bit not very intuitive. We have to try to memorize it. Alright, for example, Monday is the moon for no reason. Tuesday is the fire for no reason. Alright, so we have to memorize this. Moving on to number 3, then we also have the month. How to tell the month and the day. And then here again, the month is totally using a different counting system from the day. So instead of, we don't say 4月, right, for April, we don't say 4月, we say 4月, right? Then for the 7th month, we don't say 7月, we use 7月. Same for the 9th, right? So 9月. So, however, on the other hand, the day is a bigger headache now. So the day, they are not using any of the counting system. They're using a very unique one which only used for calendar days, right? 1日、2日、3日、4日、5日, right? Then after that, that does not end at 10, right? The special number counting system from 1 to 10, yes, it is special, but it doesn't end at 10. It continues on, like there is 14, there's 24, right? And then there's also 20, right? All these are also have their own unique words for them. So it just so happened that the days of the calendar days are just difficult to remember lah. They like to screw people up, so please go and memorize that as well. Okay, when moving on, we also learn about the year. The year is more straightforward. We just need to put the word nen behind the number. Right, that one very straightforward. There's no special sound, no special counting, nothing. Right, that one just put the word nen. Very straightforward. Then over here is how we use it in a sentence. So when you say 6時に起きます, right? 6時に起きます. In English we say wake up at, right? We have this English particle called at. So when we have this at particle, it simply means like exactly at the timing, right? Like I wake up at 6 o'clock, so I will wake up at 6 lah. So I set alarm 6 o'clock. Right? So in Japanese, same thing. We want to specify that it happens exactly at 6. So we use this particle called ni. Right? The particle ni. So this particle ni will tell everybody that that means you purposely set a reminder or alarm at 6 o'clock, right? So to wake up. Okay, the action here is to wake up. So you set an alarm or you do a reminder at 6 o'clock. So you wake up exactly at 6 o'clock. So what if I forgot to put this ni or I don't want to put this ni? Right? It will become ambiguous. Right? So it becomes like 6時 okimasu. It's like I wake up at 6. I wake up 6. So if you miss out this particle of ni, it will make it sound more ambiguous, like maybe you're just roughly you wake up at 6, like your body clock wake up around 6. Right? Of course there's other way to say around 6 lah. But if you don't put the particle, it also gives a sense of ambiguous. Right? That means like might be at 6, might not be at 6, like around 6. Right? But usually we will put this particle ni if we want to say at this o'clock. Right? And then the special condition here is in order to use ni, it can only be used when there is a time expression with number in front. Right? We don't use this ni on like 来週 ashita. Right? We don't say ashita ni. We don't say 来週に 来年に. Right? It's very weird. Like at next year, at tomorrow. Right? We don't even say so in English as well. So the special thing about this ni is it can only be used when there is a numbered expression in front of it. Right? So this is the key here, numbered expression in front of it. Okay, so everything behind is basically the verb that we do the action. So what time do we do the action? At this particular time. Okay. Number 6, we learn about kara and made. Right? Kara is basically our from, made is basically our until. Right? It's just to give people a sense of duration. From what time until what time. Right? To tell people, oh, I go from this time to that time. Right? So same thing. In English, we say from 7 to 10. Right? In Japanese, our from is put behind the number instead. Right? We put it behind the number instead. So it's like 7 from 5 until. That kind of thing. Right? So please, the placement of the kara and made, please don't write it wrongly. Okay, then we also learn about number 7, which is the negative form for our verbs. Right? For example, I did not wake up or I did not do. Right? I do not do. So, shimasen means don't do. Shimasu means do. Right? So basically, masen is just a negative form. But we are not there at the past tense form yet. So this is just the negative form. That means I do not do. Right? Then we move on to the next one. We learn about shimashita. So shimashita is where the past tense comes in. Right? So shimashita. So this masen form is negative. Mashita will be the past tense. Right? However, when we have a masen already, how are we going to put the past tense then? Right? Negative past tense is a thing, right? So in this case, we actually learn put this deshita behind. But I always told you we cannot be overly polite, right? So that's why behind must, when we say must, then we don't need to say des. Right? It's only either one of it, right? Must or des. But however, the negative past tense form is a bit unique, right? For example, shimasen is already negative. How do we change from negative to past tense? I mean, it's fixed at masen already. How else do you want to change? Like masen shita. Sounds very weird, you see. So we introduce the des, right? Shimasen, des. But des alone is redundant because masen is polite already. Unless we have another purpose for des. So in this case, we use it as a deshita, the past tense. Right? So it double up now as a polite marker as well as a past tense marker. So masen is negative, deshita will be past tense. Right? So I know it's double polite, but think of the des now you're having a second extra role to play, which is to make the entire sentence past tense. Right? So masen deshita will be the past tense. Okay, then we have this table here which will summarize everything. And then number 10. So number 10 is just saying that, for example, 勉強は午後6時からです. So we already learned kara made just now. So whatever we want to focus here is the word 勉強. So the unique thing about this word 勉強 is that alone it is a noun. When we put this shimasu, shimasu in Japanese is a verb. It means to do. So when we say 勉強します, it basically means to do studying, which means studying, okay, to study. So you can think of it as a word called tennis, right? Tennis is the playing the sports, right? the sports is a noun, right? So I want to make it into a verb. So, tennis shimasu. That means I will do tennis. Which makes it into like, I'm tennising. I'm going to do the sports tennis. Right? So, in this case, for this particular verb, we can remove the shimasu and just keep the front part, which means it is only benkyo. Then we also have other nouns. For example, number 1, right, we have shigoto. So shigoto is work. So shigoto as a noun, we say shigoto wa something something kara, something something made. So we just say that the work, right? We're not saying we're working, we're just saying the work, right? Now, the work is from this timing to that timing. We also use for other words, for example, hiru yasumi. Right? Hiru yasumi means afternoon break, right? So basically, it is also a noun in this case. Right? So hiru yasumi is a noun. Okay, so noun can also use this kara, made. Then, the only thing different from what we learned previously is, when we use a noun in front, that means at the back, we don't need to use a verb. We don't need to use a verb at the back. Right? Because the noun already hint people what you're talking about. What activity are you talking about already? Okay? That's all for the grammar. I want to go through the conversation 2 before I continue with the homework 5. Right? Let's talk about lesson 6, conversation 2. We stopped here last week. So it's a conversation between 2 persons, Tanaka and Kimura. Right? So we start with Tanaka first. おはようございます。いいお天気ですね。今朝何時に起きましたか? Do I need to translate this? Everybody should be able to understand now, right? The sentence. Right? 今朝 means this morning. No, just morning is asa. This morning, right? It specifies this morning. Okay, the rest I think you probably know what it means. K says 5時半に起きました. So 5時半, what does a 半 mean? Half, so 5:30. Okay, so 5:30 lah, 5:30. Okay, then T says, わー、早起きですね. So 早起き comes from 2 words. Comes from the word 早い and 起きます. So 早い and 起きます. What is 早い? 早い has 2 meaning. It is an adjective.
Is it like fast?
Fast. One more. 早い means fast. Yes. It also means early. Okay, it means fast or it means early. Then the word 起きます. 起きます, what does it mean? To wake up, thank you. Right? Wake up. Okay, so early wake up. Right? Early wake up means this person is a early waker. Like this person wake up early, right? 早起き simply means this person wake up early. Right? So 早起きですね. So the ね here simply means we are trying to confirm the information with the other party. It's like, wow, you early wake up? Are you early waking? Yeah. Okay, then K says, 田中さんは何時に起きましたか? So he asked back the question. T replies, 私は昨日の夜寝ませんでした. So what is 夜? The one is よく. 夜. Okay, it's another word for 晩. B-A-N. What is B-A-N? 昨日の晩. No, 晩 means number, yes, but in this context, it doesn't mean number. 晩 means night, right? Check your vocabulary list. It means night. Right, so 昨日 is yesterday, right? So yesterday's night, right? So 夜 is just another word for night. So yesterday's night. So 昨日の夜寝ませんでした. What is 寝ません? What is 寝ません? 寝ます. 寝ます. It comes from the word 寝ます. 寝ます means rest, means sleep, right? So 寝ません means don't sleep, right? Don't rest. Then 寝ませんでした means did not sleep, right? Did not sleep. So past tense of did not sleep. Okay, so yesterday night did not sleep. Alright, so this person didn't sleep. Then of course the K will be replying, どうしてですか? Right? He'll be like, why? Right? So どうして is why, right? So he'll be asking why. So this A is in English we say like, oh. Alright, so, oh, why? T replies, 今日は英語の試験ですから。So, have you learned about this kara before? Got a feeling we did already. No, yeah.
Looks familiar.
Looks familiar, right? Okay, so the one that we learned previously is from. But now, what if I tell you there's a new meaning to it? Right? Is there a time before it? No time, no place. Right? So, in this case, there's kara, then comma. In this position, this means that's why. Or it can mean because. Right? Because that's why. Okay? So I'll explain why it means because. Okay, so Kyo is today, right? You know what is shiken? Exam. So 英語の試験 English exam. So today is English exam ですから。Then we read the next line first. 一晩中勉強しました。You understand what is 勉強しました, right? So 一晩中 I give you a hint. The word 晩 means night. Right? So ju simply means, okay, it's hard to translate to English, but in Chinese it means 中. So it means like it's something that is still ongoing, something that went on, right? So in English we say the whole night. Right? So 一晩中, hito means one. So 晩 means night. So one night long. That kind of thing. So it's like a one night long. So the thing is like it happened for the whole night. Right? So 一晩中 simply means like for the whole entire night. The one night long. Right? Hito means one. So one night long. So that means, what did he do? One night long? Study. Right? So he was studying the whole night. Right? He was burning the midnight oil. So now we put the sentence together. Today English exam. Then desu kara. One night study. So in the middle must be something like that's why, right? Or because. Right? So because I have English exam today, that's why I study for the whole night. Right? That's what it means lah. Okay? And then next line. So desu ka. So this so desu ka sounds like he's doubting him. Right? Ka is a question. So it's like, is it? It's like he's doubting him, right? Okay, it doesn't really mean doubting him. It has another meaning also. So this so desu ka is like, oh really? Okay, it's like instead of like sarcasm or like in English it sounds like sarcasm, right? Oh, is it? You study whole night, right? But to Japanese it's like a filler, right? It's just like how we say like, oh, I study whole night. Oh, I see, right? So this so desu ka is also like, oh, I see. In a way, it implies, oh, I see, rather than like the sarcasm and say like, oh, is it? You study whole night, right? It's less of the sarcasm, but it's more of the, oh, I see. Okay. じゃあ今日の試験頑張ってください。Right, this 頑張って come from the word 頑張ります。Right, we heard before 頑張ります right, which means like to can continue work hard. Right, in Chinese we say 加油, in Korean we say what's that in Korean? Fighting. Right, so in Korean it's just a cheer, it's just to tell the person to like continue to work hard, right? Don't give up. Right, so 頑張ってください. So this 頑張って is a tear form that you will learn in E2. You will learn in E2. So don't care about it right now. Just know that 頑張ってください means ください is please. So please work hard. Please continue to work hard. Okay? Next, T says ところで. So ところで in short is just BTW. By the way. Okay? By the way. 木村さんは今から仕事ですか? Then we have another kara over here. Then what is the word before kara? What does it mean?
Is now.
Now is a time, right? So from now. Alright, so from now, 仕事ですか? 仕事 is work. So from now, work. So he's asking him, are you working from now? Right? Are you going to work lah? Then K says, はい、そうです. Right? はい is yes, そうです is just like, you are right. Right? So this is just you are right. Then T replies, 今日の仕事は何時から何時までですか? Right? Straightforward, right? 何時から何時まで. Right? From what time to what time? Right? So Kyo no shigoto means shigoto belong to today, right? Shigoto that is related to today. So that means today's work. So today's work is from what time to what time? Then K replies, いつも right? 午前9時から午後5時までです。So what is いつも? Any idea? いつも means
When?
no, not really when. It's this いつ. When is いつ? いつも
Usually.
usually. How you know? You check. Okay, so yeah, it means usually. So like the usual, right? いつも the usual, right? The usual is from 9 to 5. Right? So the usual is from 9 to 5. Right? If you cannot remember what is いつも, mo is also, right? いつ is when, right? So when also. That means it's like all the time lah. Right? So that means usually, right? Usually. Okay, then the next line, でも今日は残業ですから. Right? でも means but in this case. It just means a however or a but. Okay, however, today is 残業. 残業, any idea? OT, overtime. Right? 残業. So 今日は残業ですから. So this から, is it a time one? Is it talking about time? Is it from? No, there's no time in front of it. So we want to say that today, because today is OT, right? Because today is OT, then the next line 8時まで働きます. So 8時まで, this まで is until. So until 8, 働きます. 働きます means work. So until 8, I work. So put the sentence together. But today OT ですから8時まで work. Right? So that means until 8 I work. Right? Today there's OT, that's why I work until 8 today. Right? And then the last line, そうですか. Right? OIC again. This one not doubting him. It's just OIC. OIC. じゃあ仕事頑張ってくださいね. Right? So 仕事 is job. When we put the O in front, it becomes polite. Right? お仕事頑張ってください. So please work hard at your work. Okay? Any questions about this passage?
But if you got the name, then the previous one got the name.
Where is the previous? Oh, okay. The previous one. Okay, it depends on the person lah. Some people.
Just like want to add like.
Correct what? Our Singlish we also sometimes we add, we don't add what. It's like really meh, really. Sometimes I don't say meh also. Really, that kind of
This
thing.
name is like that lah.
It's optional. It's like whether you want to portray that feeling of confirming it with somebody else, right? It's like really, really lah. Really, then just really, right? So sometimes you just add the la just to like. Sometimes you want to act cute. Sometimes you want to reconfirm stuff. You want to assure stuff. So the ne is also optional. The yo, if we see before, right, the end of the sentence there's a yo. That one also optional also. All these ending particle sound is optional. It's just like our Singlish particles also. It's optional. But if you want to say something and then you want to like be very firm on something, you want to make it sound like you don't know, make it sound like you only know a bit, make it sound like you're very sure, then that's where we add in the particle at the end. Right? To tell people like how sure we know this thing. Right? Same as English. Okay, so we will have 2 volunteers. Anybody want to try? Shri, you want to try? Okay, Shri, then anybody want to try? How you want to try?
Okay.
Okay lah. Okay, Serene will do. Okay, so Tanaka chemistry.
おはようございます。いいお天気ですね。さあ何時に起きましたか
5時半に起きました。
わあ、早起きですね。
田中さんは何時に起きましたか？
私は金曜の夜寝ませんでした。
This one
A.
A
Sorry, not A. This one is a short one. It's the A. It's a short one.
としてですか？
今日は英語の真剣ですから一晩中勉強しました。
OK。
そうですか。じゃあ今日の試験頑張ってください。
ところで木村さんは今から仕事ですか？
はい、そうです。
今日の仕事は何時から何時までですか？
いつも午前9時から午後5時までです。でも今日は全業ですから8時まで働きます。
そうですか。じゃあお仕事頑張ってくださいね。
Okay, the pronunciation is okay, but the problem is the intonation. Right, the intonation, one of you sound like a Caucasian lady trying to speak Japanese, and another one really sound like an Indian man trying to speak Japanese. So yeah, so the intonation is all over the place. So I recommend, I cannot teach phonics now, right? This class is not about phonics, but if you are interested to improve your intonation, you can consider to watch a few of the, you just go to YouTube, you can search phonics, right? Japanese phonics, and then they can teach you how to pronounce certain words, certain sentences better, right? There's this guy called Dogen, D-O-G-N, he's a linguist, so he studied Japanese for 10 years already, so he's giving tips to Japanese learner on how to pronounce Japanese words way better. Yeah, so you can, if you're interested, please consider to watch his video. Because I personally learned my intonation from news, because I watch Japanese news to understand how they speak, how fast they speak, where they do their pause, right? So I mean, pause is also a very important part of reading also lah. So I realized that you guys sometimes do like bullet train, just boom, like no pause. Then sometimes you pause at very weird places, right? And then sometimes you are missing words that you didn't pronounce also. For example, zangyo, the N is missing. You say zagyo. Then after that, one more is the shiken. There's a shinken. There's an extra N. Like, that was really weird lah. Yeah, so you don't need to rush. Slowly read the sentence. Okay, we are still using Romaji right now. So you can slowly pronounce the Romaji. Right, try to master what is the way to pronounce shiken. What is the way to pronounce zangyo, for example. Right, so I will go through some of the more difficult to pronounce one. So just repeat after me. Okimashita. Okimashita. Hayaoki. Hayaoki. Hitobanju. Hitobanju. 勉強試験ところでthe last one 残業働きます Okay, yeah, so how you can further improve is if you don't know how you sound like, you can record your voice and then you can try to go to the dictionary app that I show you, right? So for example, the word zangyo, right? So you can hear
Zangyo.
oh, the robot sounds like a sore throat also. Yes, but however, we don't need to emphasize the U sound too much, right? Zangyo, we just need to drag out only. We don't need to like zangyo u. We don't need to pronounce the u so separately, right? So it's more like zangyo. So we drag out the o sound, zangyo, right? We drag out the o sound. So the last u, yeah, the robot really sound like sore throat also. No, the u don't need to pronounce one. The last u is okay. You need to go back to our first lesson already. So our first lesson, right? The OU sound simply is a OO sound, right? Remember? We go back to the first lesson. OU sound is just an OO sound. So it's an O sound. So it's just drag out the sound only. So zangyo, right? No need to zangyo u. No need the u. Right? So basically the robot don't know. But it's still a good way to reference like what is the intonation for this particular word.
Arigato also same.
Arigato.
Also as
O. Yeah, I never say arigato. I never say the Arigato. Right? Arigato. I drag out the O sound. Right? Arigato. Right? So you can refer to this for the voice. Then you can also record your voice to listen to how you sound like speaking this word. Right? So that's the best way to improve your intonation also lah. Okay, that was lesson 6. Any questions about lesson 6? No questions, we go back to our homework lesson 5. Where's my lesson 5? Nobel never come. I thought she do in advance all the homework already then. I thought she would be here. Okay, lesson 5. Unfortunately, then she will watch the recording lah. Okay, lesson 5. Example sentence これはカバンです。これはカバンです。Then the bracket 大きい。大きい is a adjective. So we want to put the adjective together in front of the noun. So the noun here is a カバン. So I want to describe this カバン. Right? 大きいカバン. So これは大きいカバンです。Okay, so number 1. これは時計です。Bracket 有名。Yes, true.
これは有名時計です。
Wrong. What is 有名? 有名 is an E adjective or non adjective? E adjective. Why makes you think it's an E adjective? What makes you think it's an E adjective? Just because it ends with an E?
It's a non-adjective.
Yeah, it's a non-adjective. So please don't be fooled just because it ends with an E and then it's an E adjective. So far we have learned 2 adjectives which ends with an E, but it is not an E adjective. One is yume, the other one? Kirei. Thank you. There is more, but now we only learn 2. Right? That's why the homework is all about these 2. To make sure you all remember, drill it in yourself. Okay, yume is a non-adjective. So we have to say これは有名な時計です。Okay, please remember, 有名 is a non-adjective, so we need to put a na. 有名な時計です。有名な時計です。
For okay, there is no.
Sorry?
For okay, you will not put anything.
Okay is an E adjective. Remember, E adjective we don't need to put anything, right? Yeah. Okay, you just need to go back and lesson 5 to revise that. Revise lesson 5. Okay, number 2. あれは雑誌です。Bracket 面白い。Yes, Jinkun?
あれは面白い雑誌です。
Yes. Okay, 面白い雑誌です。Right? 面白い雑誌です。See, this one we don't need to add anything because it's an E adjective. Don't need to add anything. Right? 面白い雑誌です。Okay, number 3. 彼は人です。Bracket 親切。Very good. 親切 is a na adjective, so we have to put the na. So 親切な人です。親切な人です。Number 4. 私は好きです。果物。
私は好き果物です。
好き is a E adjective or na adjective? It's a na adjective. Okay, I'll go to the guy later. For now, I'll answer her question first. Okay, so we want to say that I have a fruit that I like. Right? I have a favorite fruit. I have favorite fruit. Right? So, 好きな果物. Right? 私は好きな果物です。But again, this does not make sense. Right? 私は is I am, right? I am favorite fruit. Sounds weird to you, right? I am favorite fruit. So, what I want to tell you is, we can put 好き with a na, it's because it's an adjective, right? 好きな果物. Yeah, this makes sense. Favorite fruit. Right?
Without the 私は。
Yeah. 好きな果物. It makes sense. But however, because the front says 私は.
This 好き is in front,
Yes.
then
好きな果物はリンゴです。リンゴ is apple. So favorite fruit is apple. Right? 好きな果物はリンゴです。So I'll write out this sentence first before I continue with your wa and ga. So 好き na, because it's an adjective, so 好きな果物はリンゴです。For example, リンゴです。So it becomes a favorite fruit is apple です。Right? So we can use 好き as an adjective. Okay, so if you want to say 好き果物, make sure you put a na in the middle. Right? 好きな果物. Okay, but of course the question is not asking for this lah. Right? As what Serene has said. So actually, the question wants us to say that I love fruits. I like fruits. So 私は果物が好きです。Yes, 果物が好きです。So that's the correct answer we are looking for actually. Okay, so は and が。Right? 私 is the subject. Right? 私は。Then 果物が。Right? 果物 is our object. So because the word here is 好き. 好き we need to have an object to like. So the object here will be our 果物, the fruits. So how do we tell people that the thing I like is fruits? We have to put the が particle there. Right? To tell people this is the object I like. Okay? Not 私は好きです. You like what? 私は好き means like you like something but you never say what you like. You just say I like it. Like what? Right? So over here the correct answer is 私は果物が好きです. Right? This is the correct answer that they're looking for. But just now you were saying 好き果物. You can phrase it like that. But you need to put a な in the middle. 好きな果物はリンゴです. So favorite fruit is apple. Okay, moving on to the next one, number 5. Back to 3. 鈴木さんは上手です。bracket 英語。
鈴木さんは英語が
上手
です。
Very good. Okay. So this one we just put here, right? And we put a ga, add a ga of course. Right? Because 上手 means to be good at, right? To be good at something. So to be good at something, you need to have a something, an object that you're good at. So we put a が. So 英語が上手です。Right? By the way, 上手 is also an adjective. Usually we use it as a, for example, we don't really use it as an adjective. We don't, like usually we use it like we are good at this, right? We don't say like good at guitar person, something like that lah. Good at guitar person is me, right? We can phrase it like that in English lah, but usually we don't say like that, right?
But Zozu is adjective.
Jozu is the adjective also. It's to describe something, like you're good at something. It's to describe that you're good at that thing, right? So it can be used as an adjective as well, right? Ski, Jozu, whatever that we learned in lesson 5, the last few, all are adjectives. Right? The ski, Jozu, heta, kirai, all those are adjectives also. Right? And hoshi, I think. But you haven't learned hoshi. Right? All those are also adjectives. Is it here? Okay. Over here. See? Na adjective. Yeah. So the vocabulary list already tell you guys it's a na adjective. Okay? So if you want to use it as an adjective, can also. Right? You want to use it as something to say I'm good at something, I'm bad at something, I like something, I hate something, also can. Okay, number 6 is Jinkun. Hayashi-san wa heta desu. Bracket uta.
Hayashi-san wa uta ga heta desu.
Thank you. Uta ga heta desu. So heta is something to be bad at. So you need to be bad at something, right? So we need the ga particle to say that there's an object that we're bad at. Right? In this case, uta is singing. So singing is bad. Right? So his singing is bad. He's poor at singing. Number 7. Watashi wa hoshii desu. Then bracket 新しいうち。
私は欲しい。whatever. 私は新しい。これやばいです。新しいうちが欲しいです。
Okay, same thing. We just need to put a ga, right? Hoshi is want. It's an e adjective. So hoshi is an e adjective. So hoshi, because it's an e adjective and it also means want, that means we need to have something that we want, right? There should be an object that is we want. So in this case, our object here is 新しいうち. uchi is home, atarashi is new, so new home. So want a new home. Alright, so to represent this new home as an object, we put the object particle ga. Right, watashi wa atarashi uchi ga hoshii desu.
Actually, I wonder why atarashi uchi don't need to put any particle in between now.
It's an adjective wa atarashi wa. Atarashi uchi ga hoshii desu. So we don't need any noun because atarashi is an adjective. We connect to a noun, we don't need to add anything. Okay. Number 8. あれは自動車です。Bracket 日本。Yes. This is a tricky one. Yes.
So, I don't know if I'm correct.
あれは try.
あれは日本が自動車です。
Okay. Good try, but we are not using ga here. Okay. Why we don't use ga? Because do you see any words that can mean something that you want, something that you can hate, something that you can like? No, right?
I was thinking between one and something else. What is 自動車？
自動車 in Chinese we say 自動車
This is
right?
car.
Which means vehicle.
What is another word? Not kuruma.
Kuruma is car. 自動車 is vehicle.
Oh, it's vehicle lah. So
Yeah.
the general lah.
So 自動車自動車 that means it's moved by itself, right? That means a vehicle. So it's a motor that moves by itself.
So Nihon
So 日本の yes.
Yeah,
So
why?
okay, so see, okay, the hint here is 自動車. 自動車 means automobile, like vehicles. So it is a noun already. Then the bracket word is Nihon. Nihon is Japan. Japan is a noun also, right? So noun and noun. What can we do? Noun, no, noun. Right? That's the only particle that we can use here. No. So 日本の自動車です. Right? Japan's automobile. Japan's vehicle. Right? That means the vehicle related to Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So because there's no adjective here, there's no like ski, kirai, heta, jozu. There's nothing to describe. Yeah, you overthink. Alright, so 自動車 simply means vehicle. Yeah. That's why I say this is a tricky one. It's okay. Okay, so we use no. 日本の自動車です. Okay, now we translate. Okay, the final quiz that we have, we'll need to translate this kind of stuff. So you need to...
MCQ.
No, that one is the JLPT. Ours, you need to write in hiragana.
So more difficult.
A bit more difficult, but not that difficult, don't worry. Okay, now question number 1, back to Sri. What do you like?
Nani ga suki desu ka?
Very good. Nani ga suki desu ka? Right? Nani ga suki desu ka? I like Japanese apple. You want to try again? I like Japanese apple. No. It's still 3.
日本のリンゴは好きです。
Sorry, what's the particle?
日本の
日本の
リンゴは
リンゴの object.
リンゴが好きです。
Yes, because ski, so we must tell the people the object, right? 日本のリンゴが好きです. Okay, I'm not gonna write this. 日本のリンゴが好きです. Right? The first one is because the first particle is a no because 日本 is a noun, リンゴ is a noun, right? Japanese apple. So I need to connect this Japanese apple. So apple of Japan. Yeah. So apple of Japan. So the of particle is no, right? So が好きです. Right? Ga is an object particle. Don't use wa. Wa this becomes the entire subject already. So this subject likes what? The apple likes what? Right? So please take note of the difference between wa and ga. Okay, number 2. Jinkun, what kind of song does your teacher like? Translate this for me.
Sensei wa donata ga suki desu ka?
Donata. You write donata, is it?
Yeah.
Donata means... What does it mean?
Donata.
Donata means who. Donata means who. I think you pronounce wrongly, is it? Donata means who. That means like your teacher like who. Yeah, Serene is right. Donna. So donna means what kind. So donna uta. Right, so become what kind of song. Right? Donna uta ga suki desu ka? So he started off very well. Anata no sensei wa, right? Your teacher. So Anata no sensei wa, right? Anata no sensei wa donna, right? Donna uta, right? Donna uta. This means what kind of song. So song is an object, right? So we use ga. Ga suki desu. Ka.
Good car.
Ni. Suki desu ka. I haven't finished. Okay, so because ski is our adjective, we need to have something to like. So something to like means we need to have a ga to tell us what is the object. Alright, anata no sensei wa. Right, the whole thing is about your teacher. So anata no sensei wa is the subject. Right, wa donna uta ga suki desu ka? Guess Jin-kun, he likes Chinese songs.
彼は中国の歌が好きです。
Okay, very good. 彼は中国の歌が好きです. Right. Very good. Okay, number 3. Serene, what type of person do you hate?
どんな人が嫌いですか？
どんな人が嫌いですか? Yes. But she's missing the あなたは.
Yes. Because like previously we like with
I know. But in this case it's you ma. We're talking about other people ma, not yourself ma. Right? So あなたはどんな人が嫌いですか? Alright. So あなたはどんな人が嫌いですか? So what type is also どんな also, right? What type and what kind is very similar ma. So we can use どんな. So どんな人が嫌いですか? Okay, Serene, I hate a noisy person.
私はうるさい人が嫌いです。
Okay, 私はうるさい人が嫌いです。
Yeah.
Okay, 私はうるさい人が嫌いです。Right, I hate noisy people. Right? Any question with the particles? うるさい is an e-adjective, that's why we can just put it うるさい人. Right, うるさい人. We don't need to add anything in between. Right, うるさい人 is an e-adjective. Okay, number 4 question. Are you good at playing soccer? Yes.
あなたはサッカーの良いですか?
One more time.
あなたはサッカーの良いですか?
Okay, we use no when we have two nouns together. So saka is a noun, yes, but yoi, is it a noun? Yoi is...
She knows you, yeah?
Wait. Let me answer her first. Yoi is a adjective. So we cannot say saka no yoi. I know you want to mean like good relating to soccer. That means like good at soccer, but sorry, that's not how we phrase it. Yeah.
Not the correct good lah.
Yeah, okay, so we want to say good at, right? So we learned this word called jozu, remember? So jozu means good at. So you want to try again?
あなたはサッカーの上手ですか?
Okay, so jozu is an adjective also, it's a na adjective. So we cannot use no, right? No is only for noun and noun, between noun and noun. So instead we use ga, right? Jozu is a adjective that describes say we are good at something. So good at something means we need to have an object to be good at, right? So we use the particle ga to tell people what this object is. Right? Saka ga jozu desu ka? Right? あなたはサッカーが上手ですか? So are you good at soccer? Right? Are you good in soccer? Right? Okay. Try again. 4A. No, not at all.
あなたはサッカーが上手ですか?
Number next one, the answer.
Not at all.
Yeah. Do you know how to... It's a bit tricky.
I put いえ、よくないです。
Okay, yokunai is okay. But what about the not at all?
I don't know how to say it.
Okay, we learn adverbs before, right? We learn adverbs, right? Like how to say, like we go back to lesson 5, the textbook you see, lesson 5, the textbook. The last few pages, we actually learn adverbs. Where's my adverbs? Where is my adverbs? Right? So in our conversation lesson 5, do you see this guy over here? Zenzen is an adverb that means not at all. Right? So we learn a lot of adverbs. So this is one of it. We also learn in lesson 4, end of lesson 4, we also learn other adverbs such as amari. Right? So we learn amari over here. Right? Amari sonani means not so something. Right? Totemo taihen, very something. Right? So please remember all the adverbs. We learned a few adverbs so far already. Okay? Can So we use not at all. So no, not at all. So how do you want to give me the answer? No, not at all.
Isn't Zen like a bit like, is it too casual?
No. Zen. Your yoku nai is okay. So before that we put the word Zen yoku nai desu. Okay? That is one of the answer. Zen yoku nai desu. Okay, that's one of the answer. I'm not saying that's the correct answer only. Okay, we can say Zen. Wait, I just write this answer first. Zen yoku nai desu.
Can we say zen zozu?
Yeah, wait, I'm just saying this is one of the answer. Wait, Okay, the second answer he already gave me already. I was gonna ask the class what is the second answer.
No, I wrote that.
Okay, so he wrote that. Okay, so zen.
Zozu jarimasen.
Jozu. Right, jozu means good at something, right? So jozu de wa arimasen. Okay, so because it is a non-adjective, so the negative form is de wa arimasen.
Jarimasen is not correct.
Ja also can. De wa and ja is the same thing. Okay?
You can put Jozu ja arimasen.
Yeah, I say ja is the same. De wa and ja is the same.
So zen
Yeah, the zen means not at all ma. So you can choose to say zen yoku nai desu. That means no, not good at all. Or you can be like not good at it at all. Right? So jozu simply refers to the skill level of that particular activity. Good, yoku nai, yoi is just simply means good in general. So she chose to use not good in the general form. You choose to say that the skill level is low. Right? So jozu can only refer to skill level. We cannot say like this ice cream is no good. Then we cannot say this ice cream jozu de wa arimasen. The ice cream level very low. What level very low? Right? So jozu is only for like skill level, for something that can have a proficiency. Right? But for delicious, right? For example, this ice cream is good. We cannot say that this ice cream is not good, then we say zen jozu de wa arimasen. この ice cream は全然上手ではありません. This ice cream is not good at it at all. Not good at what? What is the comparison here? What is the proficiency here? Alright, so we only use jozu for those with proficiency. Then we use yoi for general lah. Can use it for proficiency. Can use it for yummy, good things. Alright, so I will suggest that these two can be answers. Of course, what they're asking is the jozu de wa arimasen.
Instead of using ja arimasen or like using ja nai desu, is it very casual?
You haven't learned 9 this what? Why you want to talk about 9 already?
No, I mean like this word ja nai desu.
Okay, so both of it is the same level. Okay, but we haven't learned 9 yet. Okay, so basically she's saying arimasen change to 9. Yes, can. But 9 is a casual form of arimasen. Arimasen is the polite form. But however, she put an additional des at the end of 9. Right? So 9 des, it becomes polite again. So the level of politeness for these two, de wa arimasen versus de wa nai desu, is the same level. Same level of politeness. Okay, but however, we haven't learned how to change arimasen to 9 yet. So I recommend you just stick to de wa arimasen first. Okay? Because you might accidentally just offend somebody. Oh, sorry wa yoku nai desu. Yoku nai. Then you forget to say desu. Then you offend somebody. Right, so I want to start by saying arimasen first. Okay? Number 5. It's 3, right? Yes. Do you have a headache now?
Ima
今
頭が痛いですか?
Very good. 今頭が痛いですか?
Itai desu ka?
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's correct. 今頭が痛いですか?
But you is not there.
Sorry.
You is not there. Like anata.
Oh, so you can put あなたは if you want to 啦。あなたは今 right? あなたは今 As what Serene said, we can skip the you, I, you, you, right? You can skip the salutations. So yeah, あなたは今頭が痛いですか?
Itai desu ka?
Right? We don't say 頭は痛いですか because the 頭 is not the subject. It is the object that is pain. Right? The object in pain. Right? So we don't say は痛いです. Okay? No, I don't have.
いいえ。痛くないです。
Thank you. 痛くないです. Right? いいえ、痛くないです. Right? Very straightforward. 痛くないです. Okay, na? Next, number 6. Jinkun, I like the Japanese language because it is interesting.
私は日本語が好きです。面白いです。
Your sentence structure is all over the place.
私は日本語が好き、面
Then
白い
don't
で
get
す。
full stop.
Okay. Okay. Let me talk about how to use the... Okay, so over here, we need to use the kara that we learned just now. Okay? I don't know why we only learned it just now. Okay. So when we say A kara B des. Okay? A kara B des. It simply means because of A, that's why B. Right? Because A, that's why B. So what you're saying now is you're literally just translating English to Japanese. Right? You're literally just taking the sentence structure in English and then you just word for word translate to Japanese. But that's not the case. The sentence structure is wrong. So you want to try again using this sentence structure?
私は面白いから、
Not 私は面白いから. It will become you are interesting.
私は日本語
No, 日本語は
日本語は
面白い
から
ですから
ですから
好きです。私は好きです。Right? So you... Okay, I'll write out the sentence and then I'll explain again. So, 日本語は面白いですから私は好きです。Okay. So, 日本語は So actually this the first we split into two sentences, right? The first sentence and the second sentence, right? You see two des over here, right? Yes, because it is in two sentences. Right? So the first sentence, 日本語は right? You okay? 日本語は So the topic is about Japanese, right? The first half of the sentence, the topic is about Japanese language. It's not about your Japanese language, it's just about Japanese language in general. Right? Japanese language is 面白い. Right? 面白い is interesting, right? So Japanese language is interesting ですから.
Then what? Then how do you add the oh? Okay.
Then the next sentence is about you already. That's why you like it. Right? So Japanese is interesting. That's why I like it. Right?
It is like in between the because right? Can you put like RL?
Then if it's like very then must
Okay.
put like more.
Yeah. The very I will come again later. I just give you the general structure first. I just give you the general structure first, because I think the structure you all don't really get. You're not very familiar with the sentence structure, so I'll give you the sentence structure first. Yes, the it is, yes, it's very confusing. Right? So in English we say I like the Japanese language because it is very interesting. But however in Japanese we swap the position. Instead of saying this first, we say this first. In terms of Japanese. In Japanese we will say the because it is interesting, that's why I like Japanese language. Right? So that's why this kara it's not really translate directly to because. It's more like a that's why. Right? That's why I tell you all the translation for kara is just that's why. It makes more sense if I tell you all the meaning of it is that's why. Because it's meant to be that's why in the middle. Right? So the sentence structure is flipped. So we cannot start the sentence with it is what. So what is it? It is Japanese. So we use the Japanese over here. So Japanese language is very interesting. That's why I like it. But of course I like it. 私は日本語が好きです. But I don't need to mention Nihongo again because at the front I already mentioned Nihongo. Alright, so the second half of the sentence I don't even need to mention Nihongo anymore. Okay? So what I'm saying is the sentence structure for this is that we have to say the reason first, right? Because of A, that's why B happened. Right? So in this case, A is our cause, B is our effect. So because A happened, that's why because A happened, that's why B happened. Right? So in this case, because Japanese is interesting, that's why you like the language. Okay? So 日本語は面白いですか? In this case, we don't need to use watashi here because it's not about your Japanese. It's about Japanese in general. It's interesting. Right? You are saying Japanese in general is interesting. Right? 面白いですか? Then you put yourself here already because this is about you already. So 私は日本語が好きです. But then we already talked about 日本語 here already. So do we really need another 日本語が over here? Because we already know that you're talking about 日本語. Right? So this is why I never use the it is. I know there is a Japanese language and it is over here. But I only need to mention 日本語 one time. You want, you can put it here also. But we don't have to because the listener knows you're talking about 日本語. So we don't need a 日本語が好きです. Right? We can omit it. Alright? Then back to Serene's question. What about very interesting? Just here lah.
とても
Yeah. Then we just put here とても. Okay?
This is wrong. 私は日本語好きです。とても面白いからです。
No, the sentence structure is wrong already. The kara must be in the middle. Okay, so you must start with the cause first. Because of A happened, that's why B happened.
But here, 今日は映画の試験ですから、today's exam.
Okay, so this one is conversational. Right? It is conversation. So you cannot look at conversation and then say that writing can be like that. Because conversation there's a lot of things that we don't say because the other party probably already know about it. Right? So for example, like you ask me Genki desu ka, then I ask you Shui wa, then I don't say anything already. Is that correct way to say? Correct way to form a sentence? No. But so that's why this one, right? This conversation, right? They are saying like
今日は映画の試験ですから、一晩勉強します。
yeah, so this kara is in the middle, no? However, it just means that because of this, because there is exam, that's why one night study.
So this is happening now and this happened in the past.
No. Do you understand the translation here?
Yeah, 今日は映画の試験です。
I have the English exam today, that's why I studied all through the night. So because of this English exam, that's why he has to study. So cause, effect.
Okay.
Yeah. So cause then effect. Can I will recommend you to copy down this cause and effect thing. Yeah, we learned before already. That's why I was like, how come you don't tell me it's wrong? Okay. Then we move on to lesson 6 homework. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, we take a short break. If you have questions, you can feel free to ask me. Wow. Yeah, that's why last week I said if you all got time. I said if you all got time, can start because it's gonna be today's homework. Today's homework is gonna be lesson 6 and 7.
No, then we do 6 already ma, then.
Yeah, next week next week then go through
Then next week not go through 7 right?
Yeah, next week 7 also 6 and 7 I'll go through both. Yeah. So just like I turn on the fan, then it becomes so hot. And now I turn on the fan, now it becomes so hot.
Ask you, when should we use kudasai and when should we use onegashimasu? When you ask for service, then it's onegashimasu.
Onegaishimasu is used when you're on the begging side.
Begging side.
You're on the begging side.
But most of the time we will use onegashimasu.
Yeah lah. It's the foolproof one lah. So you are the one making the request, you're begging the person to do this for you. then you use onegaishimasu.
But even though if I'm a customer,
Yeah lah, you can use it also.
I also use onegaishimasu.
Yes. Then kudasai is when the person on the other hand need to listen to you.
Need to listen.
Like for example, the waitress, your junior, your worker, they need to listen to you. You are of higher status. Then you use kudasai.
Now, like if I go to a convenience store, I ask them to help me heat up the food.
Yeah lah.
I use kudasai or I use onegaishimasu.
Kudasai because they are lower status than you, they are worker, your customer is God.
But even if I use onegaishimasu, it's also okay.
Yeah.
But then you will feel like
Appreciated lah.
oh,
Like you don't like command them to do something.
oh, so it's better to use onegaishimasu than
Yeah, so you can think of it as in Chinese we say kudasai is more like 你可以
你可以帮我吗？
你可以帮我吗 is onegaishimasu because you are making a request, you are begging. And if you want to like kudasai is like 请你不要这样，请你这样，请你可以帮我。对，不是请你可以帮我的 it's without the 帮 it's like just 请你弄啥 it's like you're giving an instruction.
帮我弄啥？
Yeah, so this kudasai is like you're giving an instruction to a lower status person. Yeah, onegaishimasu is more like you are begging the person to help you do this. Yeah, so it's in a way onegaishimasu is the best one to use in all situations lah. Right? No matter the person is below you, up there or below there, you are making yourself as the begging partner, the begging side of the yeah. So I would say onegaishimasu is better.
Like Japanese in uni is a lot like
Uni,
yeah, Japanese in uni.
they have all level. NUS have elementary 1 all the way until N2, just before N2.
Like I mean, we study Chinese, English until secondary school level lah.
Mhm.
We don't go JC lah. So the Japanese secondary school is like what kind of level here?
Secondary school already N1 already.
Secondary school already N1 already.
You know N5 is toddler only.
No, but then higher
Yeah.
Chinese is
Yeah, higher Chinese is way higher than N1 already.
Oh, there's no more way higher than N1. It's N1 is N1.
Have. Okay, so the exam administrative, there are a few certification organization, right? One of it is JLPT. Okay, that one is the most common one. Like for example, how to measure Chinese, there's a HSK exam, right? Then aside from HSK exam, there's also O-level, A-level Chinese, right? Yeah, so there's different examination authority, like different certification authority. So JLPT is just one of it. So JLPT level, right, N1, right, is the most common one that people are aiming for.
It's more recognized.
It's more recognized, yes. But however, N1 is not the highest level out there. Right? There is this thing called a BJT, Business Japanese Test. This one is administered in KL once a year. This one is Business Japanese. It's even more higher than N1. You need to understand the business culture, you need to understand the business norm, you need to understand how to use honorific Japanese. Honorific, I'm not saying like polite form or casual form. Because there's 3 levels. There's a polite, there's a casual, then there's a one higher one, honorific. You by right, you should already know a bit of honorific when you go for N2 exam. You should already know a little bit. But however, JLPT is never about honorific. It's more about how much grammar you know. Right? So it's not about Oko. Sorry. I tried to... how come become auto? There you go, this thing. Yeah, so JLPT is never about how much you can use or how much you can speak or how native you can speak Japanese. Yeah, okay, you know what? I just turn down this to like...
Start bring jacket lah.
No lah. I don't know how to control this aircon.
Very hot.
Oh.
You know.
No, I never off. This aircon don't know what the hell it's doing. Wait, I put face speed 3. Yeah, so there's different certification authorities. JLPT is just one of them. The level is, I will consider, okay, now they have this Central European language framework. They actually link over, they bridge over to this European framework. So this European framework, right, it ranges from A to F level, right? So even if you finish N1, it's only at B1 level only. Not even A. A is native. So I would say this JLPT is not even N1 is not even native level already. It's not even native. You are still far from native. So even if you complete N1, you are you're not native. So this is why I tell you N5 is not even a kindergarten level. The kindergarten level people probably can also speak N5 already. Yeah. So if you talk about the minimum most for employment, which is N3, N3 is at max P6 at max P6, at least a P3 or P2, primary 2, primary 3. Yeah. So this is why I find that the HJLPT exam is a glorified piece of toilet paper lah. It's not that it's not that useful, but then it's everybody also try to get this one. So it's just a piece of glorified toilet paper, laminated toilet paper put on your wall to see. Yeah. So if you really want to pursue Japanese native to the native level, consider going for the business Japanese test. Then there's still one more. That one is test you kanji test. They want to test you all the kanji in Japanese language. Because Japanese people themselves, right, nowadays people just type one, need to memorize one, just type only one. So they don't need to memorize how to write anymore. So if you really want to beat the Japanese people in writing kanji, in saying words, then you can go for all the certification in all the words that they have lah. Then you confirm become native level already. If you manage to get the highest level for everything. Yeah. So this is why JLPT N1 is still not the highest level. At max is only a high school level only. A 16 years old, 17 years old level only. We will never reach native level lah, for us Japanese learners, because there's too much nuances. Yeah, and they don't teach this JLPT. They don't teach this omonopoeia, which is like for example pika pika means like shiny. So basically this onomatopoeia is just like how to repeat the two sounds together, right? For example, like in English is there any such words? Like bye, you know, like bye is like you repeat two words and then it's like farewell. So in Japanese, sometimes you combine two words together, it will mean something else lah. Like I just said, pika means shiny, means like it glitters. So pika shimasu means it glitters, to glitter. Yeah, so there's this kind of higher level way of saying things also lah. In a way it's higher level, but in a way like if you think about it, wow, it's just pika so easy. Isn't it like it could become easier? Then yeah, there's a lot of things. For example, the rain, sara. The rainfall makes the sound sara sound. That's why we say sara. Then your stomach hungry, stomach guru. Yeah, in Chinese you can think of it in Chinese, right? Guru jiao. Yeah, so in a way like the school doesn't teach you all these kind of sounds, you see. So Japanese, there's more than what is in the textbook at N1. Because they don't teach all this kind of sound, they don't teach honorific in Japanese, they also don't teach like high level kanji. So all these things you need to go and self-learn, you need to go and go for tests, further certification, further classes. Yeah, the most common one, the JLPT one but then this is really focused only on grammar and vocabulary. And the vocabulary is not a lot of vocabulary, it's like N5 is only 300 kanji. N5 300 kanji, N4 maybe around 700 kanji. Then N3 about 2000 kanji. Until N1 not even more than 10,000 kanji. Yeah, so there's way more kanji than that lah. So I would say JLPT is it just take and then just find job only. Just go for that and find job only, right? Then back to your question about the N university. NUS they have classes that starts from beginner all the way until business Japanese. Even for after business Japanese also have. So there's this thing called the newspaper reading. So they will really go and take a Japanese paper and then just analyze the whole newspaper. So the newspaper will have a lot of kanji, a lot of words that you never see before, a lot of things that you don't know, a lot of a lot of sentence structure that you never see before. So those are what NUS is focusing on. NUS is not focusing on JLPT at all. So the exam that they test, right, is written one. Written, oral, spoken, listening, and then application also. So you are required to write, like what are we tested in Chinese the same thing lah. We need to write essay, we need to write a letter, we need to write an email. Yeah, so those are what NUS is testing also lah. But JLPT don't test all this. JLPT only test MCQ, They only test your understanding of grammar, your understanding of how to read certain kanji words. That's all. NUS on the other hand tests you how to write kanji. Like how do you write this kanji? How do you say this kanji? How do you use this kanji in a certain sentence? Yeah, so I would say NUS is very difficult. NUS Japanese is difficult. Yeah, and then the business Japanese one, right? You have to, like the teacher will use her connection to connect to company representative out there. So for me is I had to go to Sumitomo. So I had to conduct an interview with the Sumitomo guy in honorific Japanese. Yeah, so yeah, you can imagine me just learn Keigo, which is the honorific language, just learn only, then I need to use it with a professional. Then if you like butcher the whole thing, then the professional be like, wow, why your Japanese so weird? Yeah, so yeah, NUS is more practical use also lah. Practical, a lot of project work also. So one of the level at NUS is also there was a final project which is to create a brochure of some place in Singapore to entice Japanese people to come to Singapore. So you need to the choice of words, and you need to try to like describe this place, mention what is there at this place, that kind of thing. So it's like NUS puts you through more practical learning, you see. Meanwhile, JLPT is keep grinding the paper only. Just keep doing the paper only. Sometimes you don't even know what the hell you're doing also. Like how are you going to use this in real life? How does it help you in real life also? So that's JLPT. Unfortunately, that certification exam is the most popular one, which I don't agree with how they are testing the students. Yeah. So if you are thinking of going to NUS, then I wish you good luck, because it's difficult. Yeah. But it's a good thing lah. It's a good thing because you will not get the kind of lessons at NUS outside. So this school, Ikoma, Bunka, all the other schools, they will probably be doing the same thing as I did. Just go through, grind paper, grind homework, and then bye-bye. They will not be like project work, ask you to go and prepare a poster about how to recommend Singapore, or ask you to go for an interview with a Japanese guy in a Japanese company. So NUS I will feel is a bit more interactive, more practical lah. So, but the good thing is NUS actually open their courses for everybody. So if you're interested for NUS classes, you can sign up. 3 months course, 10 hours a week is $4,000. $4,000 Of course Singaporean will discount lah. Singaporean subsidized maybe like half only lah. So you still have to pay 2,000 lah. It's expensive. And NUS, I would say you will need 8 lessons to reach N2 ah. From 0 to N2. You need 8 lessons. So 8 lessons is 4 years. 8 lessons 4 years. One lesson is half a year lah. 3 months.
You mean 8 semesters?
8 semesters. So 8 semesters, 1 semester is half a year. But of course, if you minus the holiday and everything, the effective semester is only like 3 months lah. So 3 months, you proceed that 8 times, 4 years, 2 times a year, then you will reach around close enough to N2. You will just reach close enough to N2 only lah. But you still need to go and do a bit of practices for the JLPT N2. So that is the level at NUS. Okay, that's about that. Okay, let's talk about lesson 7. I mean, ultimately everybody's goal is JLPT. So what's the point of teaching your extra thing? Ask you to go and create poster, create pamphlet, write essay, when it's not even going to be tested in JLPT, right? There's no point. That's why a lot of all these schools out there, Japanese schools out there, they don't do this kind of program. Because for what? They're not going to be tested, then ask you to do all this for what? Unless the school is not just aiming for JLPT lah, they are aiming for you to become a person who is able to implement or practically use Japanese. That would be a different case. Which I think it was useful lah. For me now I can write email, I can write letter. Okay lor. I benefited from it lah. But then if you purely just do JLPT, at the end of JLPT, then you go to the workplace, you go to the workforce, what the hell is this? How am I supposed to write? How do I know that the column need to align to this, sign off where? Yeah, so that one you need practical training from those kind of schools. Yep. Okay, lesson 7 vocabulary. Please repeat after me. Number 1, 病院 ginko 銀行公園公園食堂バスタクシー電車地下鉄自転車飛行機 right, the OU sound simply means drag out the O sound, doesn't mean like you pronounce the U, not hikouki, there's no hikouki, there's no U sound, hikouki, just drag out the O sound, next, fune, not so much of a F sound, remember, it's a H sound, right, fune, right, tomodachi, 恋人彼氏彼女買い物香港オーストラリア行きます来ます帰ります歩いて Can you see on the last column it actually says V for verb, but however they say te form, right? So this te form will only be learned in E2, but there's a reason why we make you learn this aruite first. I will explain later. But this aruite, the base words come from arukimasu. This right here, arukimasu, right? Which means to walk. Okay, arukimasu means to walk. It comes from this word called arukimasu, which means to walk. Right? So aruite is just a te form. Okay, got use one later. I'll tell you about the use. Moving on, 一人で一緒にright? So I want to go back to these three verbs that you learned here. 行きます、来ます、帰ります right? Go, come, go back. So all these are the directional verb. So what I mean by directional verb means, for example, I go somewhere, I come to somewhere, I go back to somewhere, right? So there is this direction base, like I'm headed towards this direction, I'm moving towards this direction. So this is what we call directional verbs. Okay, there is a use for directional verbs. Let me just explain in the next part. Lesson 7.
Same as she,
Yes.
same word lah.
Same word lor. Depends on the context of whether you know this person is the girlfriend or not lah. Yeah. Okay, so over here we learn this directional verb. Number 1. 私は明日図書館へ行きます. Right, so now we learn this new particle called へ. Right, it is written like this. Right, the HE. Written like the HE one, but pronounced as just E. Right, so what is the difference between the just the E itself, the ordinary E and this E? Remember in the first lesson I told you guys. One is one is right? And right? One drag out longer sound. So 図書館へ行きます. So you can think of this as English to, right? I go to library. Right? So this is like the particle to in English. I go to library. Let's look at example 1. 私は毎朝食堂へ行きます. So 毎朝 every morning, right? 食堂 dining hall or dining room or cafeteria or place of eating, right? Basically it's the place to eat. So 食堂へ行きます. Go. So I go to 食堂 every morning. Number 2. 木村さんは今日ここへ来ます。ここへ来ます. So come towards here. Come to here lah basically, right? Come to here. So へ is just like to. It's just a particle to tell people where is the direction they're headed. right? So I'm headed to here, koko. I'm headed to here. Number 3. Sensei wa lainen kuni e. Right, kuni e kaerimasu. So go back to, right? Go back to his country. Right, go back to kuni. Kuni e kaerimasu. So to country, go back. Right? So by now you should realize that Japanese sentence, we either end with a des or we end with a mas. So mas is verbs, right? So verbs, so we always end with the verbs at the end, right? If we have a verb lah. So in this case, koko e kimasu, kuni e kaerimasu, right? So this is standard one. In English it's opposite, like go to something, go to somewhere. But this is somewhere to then go. Somewhere to go. So we are using it in opposite way. We're phrasing it in opposite from English. Number 4 is a question. So, 来週銀行へ行きますか? Right? So, 銀行へ行きます means I go to bank. So, go to bank? Question mark. So, go to bank. So, you're asking the person if he's going to the bank. Next, A1 says, はい、行きます. A2 says, いいえ、行きません. Right? Standard, negative and the affirmative version. Right? 行きます、行きません. Number 5. 明日どこへ行きますか? Right? So this new question word here is where. We want to ask where are you going to? Where are you going to? Right? So どこへ. Right? どこ is where. へ is to, right? So where to? Where to? You going? Then A1 reply 動物園へ行きます. So go to zoo. A2 says どこへも行きません. Right? Remember this どこも, right? This mo is also right. So where also never go. Right? Where also don't go. So you can think of it as English we say where also don't go, which means I'm going nowhere. Right? So we have to use a negative version for this one. Okay, where also don't go. I'm going nowhere.
If we don't use more,
We have to use more.
still it makes sense. Doko e ikimasen.
Yeah.
どこへ行きません. どこへ行きません means I do not go there. I do not go where. I do not go where. I do not go to where. Sounds good in English. I do not go to where. No, we have to use the more to emphasize that I also never go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere also. We have to use the more. I know you want to say like どこへ行きません. It sounds okay, but in English we translate it to become where to don't go.
But he say he's going to the zoo, then this guy say I'm not going anywhere. I thought like Mo is also, so if he say he is also going to the zoo, then he will say Mo.
Yeah lah, so what I'm saying is どこも行きません is I'm not going anywhere, right? Or I'm not going, we're just trying to teach you how to reply in general, right? Not just to target like I'm not going to the zoo. Right? Of course not going to the zoo, 動物園へ行きません. Right? So we are just, over here is just teaching you how to reply in general, like to tell people, oh, I'm not going anywhere. Right? So どこへも行きません. どこへも行きません. Okay, so the A is optional. どこも行きません. It's fine. Number 6. 昨日どこへ行きましたか? So where did you go? Right? どこへ行きましたか? A1. 植物園へ行きました. 植物園へ行きました. So I went to zoo. I went to Botanic Gardens. Then A2. どこも行きませんでした. Where also never go. Right? I didn't go anywhere. Okay, so if you want to reject, say I never go to the zoo, then you better make sure you say that zoo never go. Right? 動物園、植物園へ行きません. We cannot say どこへ行きません. Becomes where to never go. Then it sounds weird in English also. Alright, so if you want to say you didn't go to the zoo, then you better specify you didn't go to the zoo. Instead of saying where to never go. Didn't go to where. Right? So the air is wrong. If we could have just use air by itself. Moving on to number 2. Right, the sentence structure we don't need to pay too much attention now. I will have a recap summary later when we finish all the grammar particles that we need. There will be a recap article at the end of the book. Okay, so we move on to number 2. 私は 飛行機で日本へ行きます。Right? So we already learned 日本へ行きます。Right? I go to Japan. So now 飛行機で Right? So this で particle is something new. It just basically means a means of doing something. Right? So in English we say by lah. Okay? I go to Japan by plane. I go to Japan by ferry. I go to Japan by ship. Right? So this で can means mode of transport. It can means method of doing something. Right? So it's not just limited to mode of transport. Right? Later we will see another example. It can also use for tools. For example, I can say pen de something something kakimasu. That means I write by pen. I write using pen. Right? But for now, mode of transport. Right? Now you'll learn that this is mode of transport. Okay? So example 1. 田中さんはバスで会社へ来ました。So by bus came to office. Right? So bus で by bus. 会社へ to company. 行きました。来ました。come. Came. Right? So came to office by bus. Right? Number 2. 彼は明日タクシーで病院へ行きます。So 明日 is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow タクシーで taxi is by taxi. So tomorrow by taxi 病院へ to hospital 行きます。Go. So tomorrow by taxi go to hospital. Number 3. 彼の彼女は right? 彼の彼女 belong to 彼 right? So his girlfriend は船で right? 船で So 船 is ferry or ship. So ship by ship 香港へ So to Hong Kong 行きます。Go. So go to Hong Kong by ship. Fourth. 私の彼氏は毎晩自転車で公園へ行きます。So 自転車で by bicycle 公園へ to the park 行きます。Go. So go to park by bicycle. Number 5. 私は歩いてここへ来ました。Right? So this 歩いて just now we learned already. Just now I was telling you this is a te form. So there is no like how do you say mode of transport for walking? There's no mode of transport, right? So in this case we use 歩いて. So 歩いて is te form. We don't need to put a de anymore, right? So it included the de already. So 歩いてここへ来ました. So by walking, I came here. Okay, by walking, I came here. I came to here. Next, new question word. So come by what? Right? In English, we say what you come by. What did you come by? Right? What? So we use none. None is what, right? So none de, right? None de. De is the particle to say by something, right? By mode of transport. So なんで銀行へ行きますか? So by what do you go to the bank? Right? So by what do you come to the bank? Right? 電車で行きます. Right? By train I go. By train I go. Number 7. なんでここへ来ましたか? So なんで is how. So how here, how to here you came. Right? So なんで oh sorry, by what to here you came. So なんで it can means by what means, right? By what transport. In Japanese, なんで has another meaning. It also means why. Yes. So in Japanese, なんで has another meaning. It also means why. So instead of saying like by what you came here, you can ask how did you came here. So how in Japanese is どうやって。どうやって。So if you want to ask a question to someone like how did you come here, we rather use this どうやって銀行へ行きますか? So how did you go to the bank? Rather than by what you come to the bank. Because this by what, right? This なんで it shares the exact same words as why. So when you ask the question なんで銀行へ行きますか? The listener might misunderstand your question. Instead of you asking them like by what you come to the by what you came by, they will think of it as why you came here, why you came to the bank. Alright, so to prevent miscommunication, you should use how, which is doyatte.
Doshite?
Doshite is why.
Why? Not, cannot be used as how.
Cannot be used as how. Doyatte is how. Because yatte is te form for yarimasu. Yarimasu means to do something. So doyatte is how. So how to do that something. Okay, so if you want to ask this question, the best way is to ask is doyatte. Because nande, the person might just hear wrong and then just reply you why. Then they'll say something kara. Of course, why got another way to say lah, which is doshite. So there's multiple ways to ask different questions in Japanese.
So if you use doyatte, then they is not required. Doyatte kokoe ikimashita.
One more time.
Doyatte kokoe ikimashita.
Yeah, correct.
They is not required.
No, I'm just saying there's two ways to say how. Okay. Nande is by what, correct? So by what you came. But in Japanese, nande also means why.
No, I'm trying to understand with the they. Nande, if we replace it with doite, doyatte, they.
No, don't need already. Doyatte, te form already what. Remember that's not the aruite.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
don't need.
doyatte kokoe.
So don't need already. Yeah. So doyatte alone is fine already. Don't need the te already. Okay, doyatte is how, not by what. So it's a more of a general way to say how. How you came here. How did you come here? Okay? Yeah, I personally don't use nande because nande is very easily confused with why. Then why I also don't use nande. I will use doshite. Right? Because I don't want to confuse the listener to exactly what question I'm asking. Number 3. 私は友達と一緒に学校へ行きます。So you can see this 一緒に is bracketed, square bracket, which means it's optional. Okay, I'll explain why. 友達と So this と you can think of it in English as a with. So this is an accompaniment grammar particle. Accompaniment. It's like I go to school with my friend. I go to supermarket with my family. Right? With. So you're showing that you're doing the action with something, with somebody. Right? In this case, the action here is ikima. So I go. I go with friend. Right? So it's to show like what you're doing this action together with. Who are you doing the action together with? Right? Tomodachi to. So since we already have this tomodachi to, like I go to school with my friend, do you need to add a word together at the end? No need, right? So this is why we don't need the ishuni. Because ishuni means together. So we already like I go to school with my friend. So you already tell people you are with your friend. So you're not alone already. So why do you still need to use the word together? Right? So we don't need to use the together in this case. It becomes double meaning, like you are emphasizing that you are with somebody. Right? So that's why it's optional. Number 1. 彼は恋人と一緒に家へ帰ります。Right? So he, so 彼は, right? は is our subject particle. So about him, right? About this 彼。彼は恋人と。So 恋人 means lover, right? Romance partner, lover. So 恋人と. So with partner. So he with partner 家へ帰ります。So to home, go back. That means go back to home lah. Okay, so he with his lover go back to home. Good?
Kaibito, and Isho is?
Sorry?
Isho is together.
Now you see the bracket, the square bracket at the top. Number 3. Right? So that means together, right? That's why I skipped that because I already said it's optional. Okay, number 2. 私は母と買い物へ行きました。Right? 私は So this is about me. Right? About me, 母と Right? With mother, with 母. Right? 母と買い物へ So to 買い物. Right? To 買い物行きました Went. So I went to shopping with mother. Right? I went to shopping with mother. Next. 彼女は家族とオーストラリアへ行きます。 So 彼女は家族と So about her, about she with her family, right? オーストラリアへ right to Australia 行きます Go. So go to Australia with family. Next. 私は午後 right? 午後 is the timing the PM, right? So afternoon, right? So 午後一人で right? So 一人で you realize why is it 一人で and not 一人と But remember と is accompaniment particle with. How can you say with oneself? Right? I go to park with myself. Right? Doesn't make sense, right? So instead we use the particle で So 一人 means one person, right? 一人で simply means by oneself. Then this is where our by comes in again. Remember just now our mode of transport by bus, by train. So now is by oneself. So this is what I mean by the means of, the method of. So doesn't just restrict to mode of transport. This de particle can mean like using something or by means of something. So by means of alone. By means of one person or by means by myself, I go to the park. Right? So by oneself, I go to the park. So 一人で公園へ行きます。So okay, Then since this is an accompaniment particle, that means we need to say who we are accompanied by. So the question here will definitely be 誰. 誰 means who. Right? So 誰と. Right? Very straightforward. 誰とここへ来ましたか. Right? The question. 来ましたか. Okay? Then the answer 妹と来ました With sister I came. Right? Very straightforward. With sister I came. I came with sister. Okay, so the sentence structure is a bit opposite. English is like I came with sister. With sister I came.
You say 妹と来ました means what?
With sister I came.
Sister I came.
Next, question 6. 誰と家へ帰りますか? So 誰と with whom. So with whom 家へ means to home. 帰ります means go back. So with whom to home or with who to home you go back. So that means who do you go back home with? Here's the answer. 弟と帰ります. So with brother go back. So that means go back with brother. Straightforward, easy. The sentence structure is a bit opposite of English. Okay. But you just need to remember one thing. The verb is always at the end. Verb is always at the end. Right? You just put the verb at the end, then you are probably correct already.
What if you use donata?
Can also. I mentioned, right? Donata can replace dare because dare is casual. Donata is more
It
formal.
sound more weird when you do that.
No, can what? You're just being very polite. What? Donata to kaerimashita ka? With whom did you go back with? Right? You're just paying respect to the person. Okay, we'll go on to number 4. The sentence structure, I'll talk about that another day. Number 4. 私は9月に日本へ行きます。Remember previous lesson we learned the 6時に起きます。So I told you this に is like at 6 o'clock I wake up. So same thing, you look at the situation here. 9月, right? 9. There is a time expression with number. So time expression with number, we need to have a に to tell people that it is exactly inside this time frame. So instead of at September, it is in September, right? So this に here, it can mean in, it can mean during, right? So during September, 日本へ行きます. I go to Japan. So during September, I go to Japan. In September, I go to Japan, right? So we use this に just the exact same way, very similar to how we use it with the time, right? Just that it doesn't mean at that time. It doesn't mean like at 1 o'clock now. It doesn't mean like at September. It's more like a during September, in September. Alright, but it happened in that month. Definitely, you're very sure it happened in that month. Okay, so this is very straightforward. Example 1. 田中さんは6時に会社へ行きます。Right, so this is the example here. Right, during this 6時に, so at 6 o'clock, go to company. Number 2. 8 8月15日に国へ帰ります。Right? So during August 15, I will go back to my country. I will go back to country. Right? So during or on that day. Okay, so basically this ni particle is just to tell people that, oh, the time frame is as such. Like during this time, I will go back to this place, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing that. Alright, so it's more like during this time. Okay, so because it is related to time, so we have to use the time question word. So remember, 何時. Alright, so 何時に教室へ来ましたか? Then number 4, 何月に. Right, so what month, in what month, right? 何月に来ましたか? So all this question word is inside the appendix as well. The appendix, just under the month, they also got to tell you how to ask for what month. Right, so just copy and paste only. Number 5, 何月何日に right, 日本へ来ましたか? So what month, what day you come to Japan? Number 6, 何曜日にここへ来ましたか? So 何曜日 is very vague. I told you it must be a time expression with number. But then the days of the week where got number? Right? So that's why they put square bracket. Optional. Okay? But however, you can feel free to put it. Because if you think about it, the days of the week, right? In Chinese, we count by numbers. So in Japanese, we count by elements. So it is still something that has a specification for it. Right? We still specify that day of the week with like element. So it's something that can be precise. So in that case, we can still choose to put ni. Right? We can still choose to put ni for days of the week. Then number 7, of course, the general way to ask for time, 一字. But however, 一字 is so general that we cannot use 一字ni. Right? So we will omit out the ni. We do not put a ni after 一字. Because it is a time expression that does not have a number. Right? It's a general way of asking when. So いつ国へ帰りますか? So when you go back to your country. Right? 来年1月に帰ります. Right? So those with the precise timestamp, precise that you can specify the time one, we put a ni. Okay, am I confusing you? Can
Ni is the time particle.
It is a time particle.
So anything to do with date, clock, I mean, other than that, we cannot be using.
No, but remember, time expression with number. That means something that can be precisely determined. Like in September, on Monday, that kind. If you are saying like tomorrow is not very precise. Right? You're just saying like tomorrow. Then tomorrow again. Then tomorrow never comes.
But unless you say
Right?
tomorrow what time, then
Yeah, then you use the ni. Right? So it has to be a numbered expression. There has to be something that has a precise timestamp to it. Then you can use ni. Can Moving on to number 5. 私はシンガポールから来ました. So this から we learned a few one, right? So one of it is that's why, one of it is from, right? So yes, so we will reuse the from understanding again here, right? シンガポールから so from Singapore, right? シンガポールから来ました. 来ました means came. So came from Singapore. So came from Singapore. So basically there's nothing new here that we learned. We just reused our understanding from previous lesson. Right? Kara means from, kimashita means came. So came from. So Singapore kara kimashita. Then of course, because kara in this case is asking for location, so the question word here will be doko kara. Right? Number 1, doko kara kimashita ka. So from where you came. Right? From where you come.
But you don't put kuni inside. Which country you come from?
Like, okay, how do you say? You don't say where country you come from, right? You will say which country you come from. So what is which? We learned before already actually in lesson 2.
What is which?
こっち、そっち、あっち。こちら、そちら、あちら。どちら。Right? どちら is which. So どちら国から来ましたか? Right? どちら国から来ましたか? So if you want to use which country also can. どちら国から来ましたか? Right? So from which country did you came? But most of the time we will ask like where country you come from. I mean in English it sounds weird, but in Japanese where country you come from is normal. Right? Like where country you come from, like where you come from. Alright, so where you come from? 1A says Malaysia から来ました. So from Malaysia I came. Number 2, 今日どこから来ましたか? So 今日 is today, right? Today where from? Today where from 来ました came. か. That means you came from where today? Question mark. You just need to rephrase. You just need to rephrase whatever you directly translate into English sentence.
Then why did they give Coco A?
Sorry?
Coco A?
The Coco A is optional. Because Coco is here, right? So to here, right?
To here.
So you're already asking when you're here already. So why do you need so how you come to here? Right? So that when you're asking the question, you're definitely going to ask the person, how did you come here? Right? So sometimes when you ask the person, you don't say, how did you come here? You just be like, how you came? Right? You can skip to here because it's extra repetitive information. Right? Yeah, so that's why it's optional. Okay? Lesson 7. Conversation. Okay, sasoi. Sasoi simply means invitation. Right? The word sasoi must is our verb for inviting, right? To invite someone. So the word sasoi must, right? We add a must behind it becomes an invite, to invite someone, right? Okay, let's look at this conversation between two persons, Tanaka and Lim. So I'll start first. Lim says, 今週の金曜日は祝日ですね. Right? 今週の金曜日. Right? 今週 means? Any idea? 今週. You need to revise this one. 今週 means this week. So this week, no 金曜日. 金曜日 is? Friday. Oh, this one I can remember. Very nice. Friday that is related to this week. So this week's Friday. Right? The Friday of this week. Right? Friday of this week. So Friday of this week は祝日ですね. So 祝日 here, want to guess what is it? Okay lah, a bit hard to guess. Basically it means PH lah. Public holiday. Okay, so the word shuku means blessing. Shuku means blessing. So jitsu means day. So blessing day lah, which means public holiday lah. Okay, shuku jitsu, blessing holiday. Tanaka-san wa doko e ikimasu ka? So to where you go. Right? Tanaka-san, to where you go? T says, 私は家族と right? So with family, right? So 家族と遊園地へ行きます. So 遊園地 to 遊園地. So any idea what's 遊園地? Amusement park. Okay, amusement park like USS. Amusement park. So please be very careful with this word 遊園地 because if you jumble up the words and becomes 幼稚園, it becomes another meaning. You want to know what is 幼稚園? You want to guess? In Chinese? 幼稚園. 幼稚園. Alright? Yes. So 幼稚園 in Japanese means nursery. A place where baby go to. Right? So please don't ask for direction. You want to ask for 遊園地, because ask for 幼稚園. They will bring you to the nursery, then you'll be like, what am I doing here? Alright, so please be careful in asking, in saying as well, don't say the wrong thing. Okay, 遊園地, amusement park. 幼稚園, nursery. Okay? Then L replies, 本当ですか? We learned 本当 before, right? Means? Really? So 本当ですか? Really? Really right? Then 偶然ですね. So 偶然 simply means coincidence. Right? Oh, coincidence 偶然ですね. Oh, what a coincidence. Right? Then he says 私も行きます. So I also going. Right? I also going. Right? What a coincidence. I'm also going. Then T says, ah, それじゃ. Right? Any idea what それじゃ?
Then
So それ is like that. Then じゃ is like so that. So then, right? So it's like, so your それじゃ is like, ah, so then. Right? So then. Right? So then, 一緒に行きませんか? Right? 一緒に is together, right? So together, 行きません means don't go, 行きません means don't go, 行きませんか means don't go. Together don't go. Is that a translation here? Sounds very weird.
like you know like anime they like to say 一緒に行こう is it?
Okay, that one I will talk about it in a while. Okay, so 一緒に行きませんか? Okay, in Japanese we usually ask in the negative way for invitation because it's like in English we say you want go not. You want go not. It's a stronger way to invite somebody to do something, right? The person harder to reject you, right? It's like you want go not? Yes, I don't want go. No, I don't want go. So it's like yes, you say no also very hard to reject. So you want go not? So in Japanese somewhat similar lah. When you ask in a negative way, you are implying to say that I want you to go. You are kind of obligated to go. Okay, so the person will feel a more inclined to say okay lah, go lah. Okay, so in Japanese we will use the negative form to invite someone, especially if you really don't want the person to reject. We use the negative version. Right? So together don't go, but no lah, it doesn't mean so. It just means together one go not. Together go not. Right? So do you want to go together? Do you not want to go together? Right? So it sounds stronger, right? Do you not want to go together?
But ikimasu is also okay.
Sorry?
Ikimasu is also okay.
Can, but it's very weak. So ikimasen ka is a stronger way to invite someone. Ikimasu ka is like, are you going? Do you want to go? So you are giving the guy the option to choose. But ikimasen ka is a stronger way to invite somebody. Yeah. Okay, then back to your question. Iko ka. Iko is a casual way to say ikimasho. Okay, ikimasho we learned before already, right? Shall we, right? Ikimasho means shall we go together, right? That means you are giving the guy an option to choose. Shall we go? That means you want to go, don't want to go? You are giving him an option. So it's even more not very obligated to go with you. The person has an even more flexible choice to choose whether he want to go or don't go. So ikimasen ka is the strongest way to invite someone to do something with you. Yeah, it's like you're not giving him a choice, but I still give you a choice. Right, so the negative way is the best way to invite someone. Okay? L says, so shimashou. So is referring to, this S-O-U, so is referring to the question before. Everything that was mentioned in the question before. So he said, 一緒に行きませんか? So is just saying 一緒に行きます. Right? So is referring to the word 一緒に行きます. So it's like go together. So しましょう. So しましょう comes from the word します. します means to do something. Right? It's just a general way to say to do something. So しましょう means shall we do together. Right? So shall we do the above together? Which means like go together lah. Shall we go together? Right? Then he says なんで行きますか? So なんで, right? That is by means of transportation, right? So なんで, so by what are we going, right? なんで行きますか? Then he says そうですね. Then そうですね is like, oh yeah, that's right, right. So そうですね, right, that's right. バスが便利ですから. So バスが便利です. So bus is convenient. から. Right? Remember から is that's why, right? So バスが便利ですから. So bus is convenient. That's why バスで行きましょう. So バスで行きましょう. So in this case 行きましょう is not shall we anymore. It's more like let's do so together. Right? So you are saying this action, but then you are doing it together. Right? So バスで行きましょう. So バスが便利ですからバスで行きましょう. Right? Because the bus is convenient, that's why go by bus. Right? Bus is convenient, that's why go by bus. Okay? Then L says わかりました. わかりました easy, to understood. Right? 楽しみです。So 楽しみ comes from the word 楽し is an E adjective. right? Tanoshi means
Fun.
fun. So tanoshimi simply means look forward to the fun or look forward to the excitement, like excited to have fun. So this mi is not really a grammar particle, it's just like a new word by itself lah. Tanoshimi is a new word by itself. But anyway, it's related, somewhat related to tanoshi. So it just means like I'm looking forward to having fun. I'm looking forward to the fun. I will be enjoying myself, that kind of thing. Okay, so that was lesson 7, conversation. So congratulations, we have 2 homework, lesson 6 and lesson 7 homework. Alright, please complete the homework. Any questions? No questions, we go on to lesson 8. Vocabulary list. Lesson 8, vocabulary list. Okay, lesson 8, vocabulary list. Start from the first one, just repeat after me. Asa gohan. Asa gohan. Hiru gohan. Hiru gohan. Ban gohan. Ban gohan. 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 So do you realize that gohan simply means rice or meal? And then if you put the timing before the meal, it just becomes like breakfast, lunch and dinner. Right? So asa, hiru, ban. Right? This one we learned before already. Next, yasai. Yasai. Niku. Niku. Sakana. Sakana. Tamago. Tamago. Ramen. Ramen. Please, it's not really ramen. And because you have to drag out the A, double A sound. Ramen. And it's not R sound, L sound, right? Ramen. Not ramen, ramen. Singaporeans always like to ramen, ramen, but it's not ramen. Ramen. Next, mizu. Mizu. Cha. Ocha. Ocha. Usually we use ocha rather than cha alone. Just use ocha. Next, kocha. Kocha. Juice. Juice. Biru. Biru. Kusuri. Kusuri. Shashin. Shashin. Tegami. Tegami. Kami. Kami. Right, you can see kami has 2 meanings, paper and hair. Of course, the pronunciation is totally different, right? Kami is hair, kami is paper. Right?
Kami is God.
I mean, there's another way, there's another meaning lah, also God also lah, but I mean, it's also God, yes, so the pronunciation, the intonation is the same as paper, so God and paper is the same. Right, so kami is paper, kami is hair.
So tegami is handpaper.
Yes.
Huh?
Very well. Yeah, it is. Tegami is hand letter lah. That means, I mean, letters are handwritten, right? So handwritten letter lah. If not, it just become mail, like mail. Right? So tegami is handwritten letter. Right? So you can see on the right hand side the column, the Chinese character is literally hand and paper. Yeah, the Chinese character. It literally means hand and paper. So hand paper lah. Hand paper. Okay, next. Kite. Kite. Right, kite is the postage stamp. Then next one, kippu. Kippu. So this is ticket. So of course nowadays people use more oftenly say chiketto. Chiketto. More commonly people use chiketto nowadays. Chiketto. Double T-O. Chiketto. Which means ticket lah. Right, by Japanese lah. Chiketto.
How you write the hiragana? Chi, ke, and to.
Yeah lah. Chi, ke, oh, K is this one. Ke, to. Chiketto.
What is come like derived from?
Ticket lah.
Ticket.
Chiketto, ticket.
Ticket.
Because they don't have a TI sound what. So the closest to TI sound is CHI already what. Okay, next, 小説. 小説. 宿題. 宿題. 橋. 橋. 石鹸. 石鹸. リポート、
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 花、
花、
花、電子メール、
電子メール、
電子メール。
電子メール。
Yeah, you see the meiru is M-E-I-R-U, right? But there's no I sound. Because this, if you look back on your first lesson, right? M-E-I. E-I means it's a long E sound. Meiru. Right? There's no meiru, right? You don't need to pronounce the E separately. Right? So just meiru. Okay? So it's just a long M-E sound. Meiru. Right? Meiru. So there's no meiru. There's no E, it's not E sound here. Just go back and revise your first lesson. Next one. パスポート、
パスポート、
パスポート。
パスポート。
Alright, so the U is silent, of course. Of course, the first time when I say it, I purposely put the パスポート, but actually the U is silent. So we just say パスポート. Okay. Next one. 映画、映画。Okay, next page. レストラン、レストラン。放課センター、放課センター。床屋、床屋。大使館、大使館。風、風。従業、従業。もう、もう。まだ、まだ。書きます、書きます。買います、買います。買います。聞きます、聞きます。切ります、切ります。見ます、見ます。読みます、読みます。洗います、洗います。作ります、作ります。Okay, 作ります can be make, can also mean produce. That means like I produce at the factory. So it can also be produced. Next, 送ります、送ります。習います、習います。取ります、取ります。吸います、吸います。引きます、引きます。します、します。お、で。Okay, so we will learn two more particles in this lesson, right? O and de. Okay. So next page. Okay, so far you have learned like ikimasu, which means to go, right? Directional verb. We also have learned like okimasu, something ni okimasu, something ikimasu. Right? So this ni particle, right, connect our time to a verb. Connect time to verb. The particles connect location to our directional verb. So now we are going to learn a new verb, a new particle here called O. So this O simply means that we are interacting with this object, right? So like how it's like we are introducing the verb that we are doing to interact with this object. So if you look at the number one, 私は毎朝ご飯を食べます。So I am interacting with this 朝ご飯, which is breakfast. So I'm interacting with breakfast by using what verb? 食べます. So that means I eat breakfast. Right? So this O particle here is to show interaction. Right? How am I interacting with this particle in front, this object in front of it? So the object here is 朝ご飯. How am I interacting with 朝ご飯? I 食べます. I eat. Right? So now we are learning this new grammar particle to connect to the verbs. And the most common one will be this one. The most common word to connect to a verb will be O. Because you need to interact with almost everything. Right? Okay,
So from all this mass O will come.
Sorry?
From all this mass O.
Yes. Because there are words that you can interact with. Like for example, I send a letter. Right? So for example, 書きます I write a letter. 買います I buy a letter. 聞きます I listen to radio. Right? I listen to radio. 切ります I cut paper. 見ます I see movie. Right? There's something to interact with. There's always an object that I need to do something to it.
So always O only.
So you use O.
Always.
Yes. Okay. But of course, you need to make sure that it is not a time before it. We are not connecting time to a verb. Okay, we cannot say 6時を起きます. Wrong, huh? Because we are not interacting with time. We are saying at the time we wake up. Right? Same as the direction one. We are not saying like we are interacting with the location. Like I go to the location. Go to. So we need to use a to. Right? I'm not interacting with the location. I'm just saying I'm going towards. Right? I'm moving towards. So I'm not interacting with the location. Right? Then we also learn later we will learn another particle. Because in Japanese there is 2 types of verb. Okay, there's more than 2 types Just now I already tell you already the directional verb is one of it. But anyways, the main 2 is what we call the transitive verb and the intransitive verb. So what is transitive verb? Transitive verb means actions that you have to actively do it. For example, I close the door. I'm physically closing the door. Right? This is what we call transitive verb. Intransitive verb is things that we do passively. So passively, like for example, I don't need to do anything, or I think, I understand. Right? How do you show that I understand? Right? So this is what we say passive actions. So passive actions are intransitive verb. So for passive actions, we have another particle which I will introduce in lesson 10. For now, we are learning actions that we have to interact with an object. Right? So we use O. This one we have to interact one. So we are actively interacting with this object. So for the number 1 example, we are interacting with asagohan. And how are we interacting with it? We are tabemasu. We are eating it. Right? So the action here is eating. So eating breakfast. Okay, so I'll go on to the example number 1. 私は昨日ご飯と肉と野菜を食べました. So you can see this to, okay? So it's not really the accompaniment here. We are not being accompanied by a meal or meat or vegetable. We are not accompanied by all this. It is our N. Right? To is our N. So gohan to niku. So rice and meat and vegetable o tabemashita. Right? So I interacted by eating them. Number 2. Tanaka-san wa 毎晩水を飲みます. So 水 is water. So what do I do to water? I drink the water, right? 水を飲みます. I drink the water. This is how I interacted with it. Number 3. 父は昨日の晩ビールとジュースを飲みました. So he interacted by drank. He drank them. Right? So he drank them. Number 4. 姉は明日飛行機の切符. So 切符 related to 飛行機. So ticket of airplane. So ticket of airplane, what did she do to it? Kaimasu, right? So she bought the ticket. Then let's skip and go to number 8. 父はタバコを吸います. So tobacco is tobacco. So what do we do to tobacco? We 吸います. We smoke it. Right? We smoke it. So we smoke the tobacco. We interacted by smoking. Number 9. 母は先週 Sorry, 先週 is last week. 風邪をひきました. So ひきました, if you look at the grammar, the vocabulary list, it just means poo, right? But however, in Japanese, it's a very weird way to say I caught a cold. Okay, in English we say we caught a cold, right? In Japanese we say we pulled a wind, which means to catch a cold lah, right? We pulled a wind. 風邪をひきました. So we pulled a wind, which means to imply I caught a cold. Right, so this is how we say we are sick in Japanese. 風邪をひきました.
風 means wind also.
Sorry?
Does 風 mean wind also?
Yeah, that's why I say I pulled a wind.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I pulled a wind means I caught a cold. Right, that's the way they say it in Japanese. Okay, moving on. Number 10. 友達は昨日授業を休みました. So what did we do to 授業? 授業 is lesson. So what did we do to 授業? 休みます. Like we took a break or we rest. We rest from the lesson. That means there was no lesson. We missed the class. Okay. Then number 11. 毎日新聞を読みますか? So 新聞 is newspaper, right? So how do we interact with newspaper? 読みます. So read. I read the newspaper. So A1 says, はい、読みます. A2 says, いいえ、読みません. Right, 読みません means don't read. Then number 12. おじいさんは毎日 kusuri. Kusuri is medicine. So medicine o nomimasu ka? So how do I interact with medicine? I nomimasu. I drink the medicine. Right? In English we say we take medicine, correct? In Chinese we say we eat medicine. 吃药, right? In Chinese. So different language has different way to interact with the medicine. Japanese is drink. English is take. Chinese is eat. So different language, different way to say lah. Okay, so this is for you to remember, right? Kusuri o nomimasu. I drink medicine. Okay. Number 13. Mo shukudai o shimashita ka? So mo means have already, right? Already homework done, right? So mo shukudai is homework, right? So already homework shimashita. Shimashita is done. So already homework done? Question mark. That means have you done your homework? Right? Then A1 replies, Hai, mo shimashita. So mo shimashita already done. Already completed. Already done. A2 says, Iie mada shimasen. Of course you haven't do so, you must use the negative form. So Iie mada shimasen. But we don't say mada shimasen deshita. We don't use the past tense. Because the work is still not done. Why would you use past tense? Alright? It is still not done. It's not completed yet. Okay, still not done. So over here, new question word. When we have a verb that we need something to interact with, of course the something must be a what. So nani. So in this case, the new question word, nani o yomimasu ka? So what do you read? Right? What are you reading? What do you read? Shousetsu o yomimasu. Then I don't read anything. Nani mo yomimasen. Right? I don't read anything. I'm not reading anything. Right? Nani mo. So same as just now the dokomo we learned. Dokomo, nani mo. Right? We have to pair it with the negative verb. In this case, yomimasen. Right? Pair it with the negative verb. Nani mo yomimasen. What also never read. Right? What also never read. What also don't want to read. Okay, then after that, next one. 15. Mae asa nani o yomimasu ka? Mae asa nani o yomimasu ka? So every morning, what you drink? Nihonja o nomimasu. So I drink nihonja. Nani mo nomimasen. I drink nothing. What also never drink, right? Nani mo nomimasen. Number 16. Senshu doyobi nani o shimashita ka? So senshu, right? Senshu is a time expression. Usually we can put a no. You don't want to put a no, up to you. But of course put a no is better lah. Senshu no doyobi. So Saturday that's belonging to last week. So last week Saturday, or we can say in English Saturday of last week. But usually we say last week Saturday, right? So we skip the particle also. So in Japanese, same, we can skip the particle as well. Then doyobi, right, as I mentioned just now, the ni is optional because the day of the week is very ambiguous. Is it a numbered expression, right, or is it a rough time frame? But anyway, the key here is nani o shimashita ka? So the way to ask somebody what you do, right? Nani o shimashita ka? So what did you do? Right? We want to ask what is the action that they have done. So nani o shimashita ka? So shimashita simply means to do something, right? To done something. So it's a very general way to say an action, like what you do. Right? We are not saying what action, we are just saying what you do. That's all. Okay? Next sentence. Tomodachi to. Right? So tomodachi to at the top, very top, yeah. Tomodachi to. So to is with, right? The accompaniment particle. So with friends, eiga o mimashita. So with friends, movie watched. So I watched movie with friends. So shite, right? And then so shite, 一緒に晩ご飯を食べました。Right? 一緒に晩ご飯を食べました。So I interacted with 晩ご飯 by 食べます by eating. So I ate dinner. Okay, then we move on to number 2. 私は郵便局で切手を買います。Right? So this just now we said there, right? There is like by means of, by modes of transport, by something, right? But sorry, in this case it has a new meaning now. Okay? this de here simply means the place of action. That means like, where are we doing this verb at? What are we doing this action at? Where? Right? So yubin kyoku de kitte. Kitte means stamps. So what we do to this stamp? We kaimasu. Right? So we buy stamps. Buy stamp where? At yubin kyoku. So this de in English we will say at. Right? Place of action. So I buy stamps at post office. The example, number 1. 子供は部屋でラジオを聞きます。So ラジオを聞きます。聞きます means listen, right? So ラジオを聞きます means listen to radio. Like how you interact with the radio I listen to radio. So where he listen to radio? At 部屋, right? In the room, right? So of course we say in the room but we can also say at the room listen to radio. Like it's the place that happening. Place that is happening, right? So 部屋でラジオを聞きます。Number 2. 私はお手洗いで right? お手洗いで at the toilet 手を洗いました right? So what did I 洗います What did I wash? Hands
Hands.
right? 手を洗います So I interacted with my hands by washing them, right? So お手洗いで手を洗いました。Number 3. 田中さんは大使館 is embassy 大使館で So at embassy パスポートを作りました So what did we 作りました What did we make? パスポート right? We interacted with the passport by making one So 大使館で So at the embassy make passport. Okay, then we skip a few. We go on to number 5. 妹は日本語学校で日本語を勉強します。Right, so 妹 sister, about the sister, right? So about sister, 日本語学校で So at this Japanese school で Then what's the action that he interacted with? 日本語を勉強します。But if you think about it, 日本語学校 what else can you study? So, I mean you can only study Japanese, right? So, do we really need the 日本語を No need, we can also, it's optional because we already say at Japanese school So you should already know and study Japanese language. What else can you study there? Right? So 日本語学校で勉強します That means I study at Japanese school Instead of saying I study Japanese language at Japanese school Right? So you can skip the 日本語を勉強します You can skip the 日本語を Okay, number 6. 主人は床屋で髪を切ります So the thing here is kami is hair. So hair, what do you do to do the hair? The verb is kirimasu, means cut. So cut hair. So cut hair where? Tokoya de. Right? At barber. At barber, cut hair. So since this de is our place of action, so that means we have to ask for the place. We have to ask the question like where. So in Japanese, where is doko? So doko de. Right? So our question will be doko de. Doko de 日本語を習いますか Then you reply 大学で習います Okay, number 9. お父さんは昨日の晩どこで紅茶を飲みましたか Right, so お父さん This everything is about お父さんお父さんは昨日の晩 So about last night, right? Yesterday night どこで So at where? Right, at where? 紅茶を飲みましたか So drank紅茶 Okay? Then A says 放課センターで飲みました So at hawker center, drank. Okay? Notes for 7. This one I will talk about it in another day. Number 3, next page. 私は万年筆で手紙を書きます So now we have another de here. It's the same hiragana character, but they have different meaning, different uses. Right? So this one is the one that I say by means of, by method of, by utilizing something. So just now we have a mode of transport, right? By bus, by train, by plane, right? But now think of it as I want to write a letter using what? By what? So number 3, now the first sentence 私は万年筆で Right? Manehitsu just means mountain, pen. Right? So or we can change the word to pen de. Okay? 私はペンで手紙を書きます。Right? 書きます is write. So write what? Write letter 啦, 手紙. So how we write? Pen de. So by pen. Right? So manehitsu, I just replace the word with the pen. Easier to say also. So pen de. So by pen. Right? Or using a pen. Right? By pen, I write letter.
Or with the pen.
Sorry?
With the pen.
By pen. Yeah, with the pen. Yeah.
With the pen, then you can use to, right?
Sorry?
To.
No. To is accompaniment with a human.
Only for humans.
Yeah. Is your pen like with you? Are you accompanied by the pen? No, right?
So to is only with humans.
Human or pets. Right? You don't say the pet accompany you, right? Okay, you can say so lah. For example, you're lonely overseas and then this pen is from your mother. So you can say like, oh, the accompaniment from this pen. Pen to ureshi desu. Like happy. I was happy with my pen. You can say so, but it sounds very weird. It sounds like accompaniment rather than you write with. Okay, it's the totally different with. So think of it as a by. Like by pen I write a letter. Not with pen I write a letter. Although in English we can say with pen but Japanese we don't say this with pen. Because the with in Japanese is accompaniment with. So we don't say like, oh, you are accompanied by a pen to write letter. It sounds very weird. Okay?
All these birds for sure got a mask behind one, right? Some more is like the eye and then the mask. Like,
Yeah.
like
Verb always have a mask.
flying, listening, cutting, seeing, everything also sure got mask behind one.
I think that was what I was telling you guys. There's only des or mas. Or the sentence will end with a des or a mas. Des is when there's no verb. Mas is when there's a verb. Just remember this, you'll be fine. Okay, example 1. あなたはハサミで right, by scissors, right, with scissors, by scissors, 紙を切ります. So I cut paper with scissors. I cut paper by scissors. Right, so this de is to show that what are you using, what tool are you using, right? By what are you using to accomplish this action, right? So it's just a method of completion something. 2. 田中さんは石鹸で手を洗います。So 石鹸で so by soap or with soap 手を洗います。Yeah, you realize I keep using the word by because I don't want to confuse you all with the word with. So I keep saying by.
Only got tail and a day and a tail.
手で Sorry, where's the no 石鹸で means by soap. Then 手を is your object here, the object that you want to interact with. So 手を洗います. So I wash my hands. So you do a washing action to the hands. Right? So you need to pause in between. So usually we will pause after the particle. Right? So if we
pronounce as second.
so usually we will pronounce we will have a short pause after the particle. Yeah, so you're right. So 田中さんは石鹸で手を洗います。So you can hear my pauses, right? So usually we pause after every particle. So that we don't be like, 田中さんは石鹸で手を洗います。It's like, wow, what you saying, Very fast, right? Yeah. So we will pause lah. Okay, number 3. 私は箸でラーメンを食べます。Right? 私は箸でラーメンを食べます。So what do I do to the ramen? I 食べます。Right? I do the eating action to the ramen. But how I eat the ramen? By chopstick, with chopsticks. Right? By chopstick, with chopsticks. Next, let's skip to number 6. Good morning は日本語で何ですか? So 日本語で so by Japanese, right? So or in Japanese, right? So good morning wa is our subject particle, right? So everything that we want to mention in this sentence is good morning. So this thing good morning in Japanese, right? Or by Japanese, 何ですか is what? Right? So our question, if you realize, is always at the end. Something something wa 何ですか something something wa どこですか Right? So our question is at the end. Right? So おはようございますです Right? おはようございますです Number 7. 動物は英語で何ですか? So 英語で by English or in English. So 動物 in English is what? Then the reply will be animal です。Your reply will just be animal です。Okay な? So far okay あ? Okay. So since this thing is like you have to do by something or you do with something, right? Like something. So it must be a what. Right? So what do you use to do? With what you do to complete this thing? With what you eat? With what you do this? So you need to be a what question. So in Japanese, what question will be nan, nani or nan. So of course our new question word here will be nande. Same as the bus one and the train and the plane one. So nande. Alright. Then once again I tell you nande is why. Nande also can mean why. So the better one will be doyatte. Right? So instead of saying with what you send the parcel, you will say how you send the parcel. Right? So どうやって荷物を送りますか? Right? So どうやって was to be the better one over here. Right? どうやって will be the better one over here. So どうやって荷物を送りますか? Right? どうやって Okay? Then A says 箱で送ります。箱で So 箱で with a box or by a box, right? By a box I 送ります。送ります means send. Right? By a box I send. And you see this 荷物 becomes square bracket, becomes optional. But I mean because the question already say how you send this parcel, so why do you need to repeat the word parcel again? Right? So the word parcel can just be optional already. Why would you want to emphasize? Oh, I send the parcel by box. Just reply I send by box. Right? We can just, because you already know we're talking about this parcel already. Okay, then number 10. 彼はなんで写真を撮りますか? So 撮ります has two meaning. One is to take photo, one is to take something. Like take things. So in this case, take photo, 写真を撮ります. So what I do to 写真? I took the photo. Or I took the photo, right? So なんで is our question here. So なんで means by what, right? Or with what. So with what? He took a photo. So A reply 携帯電話で. So 携帯電話 means mobile phone, right? So mobile phone で with mobile phone 撮ります. So take with mobile phone, right? You see, I never say take photos with mobile phone. I can just remove the word photo because it's optional already. Right? Number 11. 何語で手紙を書きますか? So 何語 Go means language. Remember in lesson 3 or lesson 4 we learned this something go means the language. Yeah. So something go means the language. So what language, right? 何語 is what language. So what language で? So with what language or in what language or by what language, then our object here is 手紙. So 手紙 and the action will be 書きます. So by what language do you write a letter?
Why is it not nango? Because like usually it's at nan.
So this nan, when we use nan, nan, and when you use nani, it depends on the particles behind. This one need to memorize one. Okay? So remember, nani ga suki. So nani ga, right? The next letter is G, right? So same lah, nani go. The next letter is G. So it depends on the particle lah. That's why this nani go, not nan go. But however, if it's a K, nanka, right? So it becomes nan, it's not nani. Okay, let's look at lesson 8 conversation. Wow! Can learn how to order at the restaurant. Okay, lesson 8 conversation, restaurant there. So there's 3 persons, so we need 3 volunteers later. Okay, let's start with the shop staff. いらっしゃいませ. Then K replies, メニューをお願いします. Right, this is what Jin-kun asked me just now, right? You can use お願いします everywhere. S reply, はい、少々お待ちください. どうぞ. Right? So どうぞ is just a giving action. So shou is just like in Chinese we say shao wei, which means like for a while. It means for a while. So it's like for a while, omachi. So omachi comes from this word called machimas. Machimas means to wait. Right? Machimas. Right? Machimas means to wait. This means to wait. Of course, the te form is what Singaporeans are very familiar with. Matte. Chotto matte. Right? So, machimas, the te form will be matte. But that's why. But we haven't learned matte. We haven't learned te form yet. So please just understand. Machimas is to wait. Right? So we remove the mas and then we just keep the word machi. Then we put a polite particle o in front. Then we add the shou. It becomes a very polite version of chotto matte. Right? Chotto matte kudasai. It just becomes very polite. Shou omachi kudasai. Right? So it's basically chotto matte but in a very high level, honorific, polite level. Right? Service level of politeness here. Shou omachi kudasai. Douzo. Then P says, この店は初めてです。初めて, any idea? Remember the 初めまして? So 初めまして means good to see you for first time. So 初めて first time. Right? 初めて means first time. So この店は初めてです. So this shop is my first time です. Right? This shop first time です. Then K says, そうですか. So he's like not doubting him lah. He's not like, is it? He's saying, oh, is it so? Oh, so, I see. Okay? So he's just saying, I see. この店の食べ物は So, 店の食べ物. So, 食べ物 is food. 店 is shop. So, shop no food, which means food related to the shop. Which means food of the shop. Right? Food of the shop. So, food of the shop は This is our subject. は美味しいですよ. Right, I trust you know what's 美味しい. Then, this ですよ. So, this よ particle means like for certain this guy say it's going to be good. Right? This food is going to be damn good. Right? So, よ. So, it's like for sure it's going to be good. So, that's why he say the word よ. Right? It's just to like give his opinion that, oh, I eat here before, it's really the best. Like, no doubt. Right? Or Gen Z slang no cap. Okay? Next. 何を食べますか? So, what eat? Which means eat what lah. So, eat what? Right? 何を食べますか? Then T says, えっと. Right? This is just a filler. It is, in English we say, right? ERM. This えっと is the way of Japanese to say, yeah. It's the same as, So, じゃあ. So, this じゃ is then, or so, right? So, 親子丼にします. Right? I trust you know what is 親子丼?
Rice bowl.
You know? Don is a rice bowl. Okay? Then we are left with the front word, oyako. So, oya means parents. Oya means parents. Ko means child. So, parents, child, bowl, rice bowl. Any idea what it means, right? Parents are the chicken meat. Ko is the children, is the egg. So which means it's a dish that contains the chicken meat and egg. Why?
You said it, it makes sense lah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, the egg is the child of the chicken.
If you understand what's a dish, like, oyakodon is just a chicken egg dish. It's a chicken meat egg dish. It's a chicken egg rice bowl lah. So that's why they call it oyakodon, because the whole bowl, the rice bowl contains the parent and the child. Yeah, that's why they call it the oyakodon. Yeah. Many people don't know sia. Because you need to know Japanese, then you know. Okay? Oyakodon ni shimasu. So ni shimasu means I will select this. I will do this. Right? Shimasu means do, right? So I will do this. Like I will do oyakodon. That means you are selecting the meal.
Why is it need?
Okay. The ni, right? We will learn this why ni in the next lesson. It's a positional grammar particle. Okay, for now, just understand that ni shima simply means like I will select this. I will select this thing. I will select this. I will choose this. Okay? Yeah, because the need that you all learn so far is the timing one. Doesn't make sense here, right? Yeah, because need has a lot of other meaning. I can tell you one grammar particle like need can have over 10 plus meanings. you reuse all these particles until they run out of value. It's really like, for example, O has like 5-6 meanings. That has like over 10 plus meanings. Need also have over 10 plus meanings. To also have over 10 plus meanings. It's not just like, oh, accompaniment only. Right? We will learn a lot of this to down the road. Kara already, we learn like 2 meanings or 2 or 3 meanings of it already. So kara also has a lot of meanings. It has like 5 or 6. So yeah, we will learn more of this meaning as we go down the road. Okay, so don't just be stuck on, oh, ni cannot leh, must be ni. Sorry, there's a lot of meanings of ni. Okay, next. Kimura-san wa nani o tabemasu ka? So nani o tabemasu ka? What do you want to eat again? Right? K replies, watashi wa soba ni shimasu. You know what soba? The buckwheat noodles. So it's a handmade buckwheat noodles. It's apparently it's healthy. I don't know how healthy is that. It's carbs. Okay. Wow, you should try Japanese foods. It's very nice. The oyakodon is very good. It's a very nice dish. Okay. So soba ni shimasu. So I will do with soba. I'll be fine with soba. I will do soba. Alright, then he says soba desu ka? Soba desu ka? Alright, soba desu ka? He's confirming with him. Soba? He's just like asking him like soba? Are you sure you want soba? That kind. So then he says soba desu ka? Ii desu ne. So it's like soba? Oh, that's good
So just now you say soba desu ka, but then you need to like confirm with him. So you need to say the whole sentence. But then can you like just say like what you say soba? Kind of like this name.
Okay, so soba is just like confirming the order with him. But he not just confirming the order with him, he also complimented on his order. So he say, ii desu ne. So it's like, wow, that's good leh. That's good, right?
Soba desu ne also is okay.
Soba desu ne. No. Soba desu ne not meaning really. So, soba desu ne simply means like it is soba. Like you don't know it's soba, that kind of meaning. So in this case, ii desu ne is like, oh, it is good leh. Like, did you know it was good? Yeah. So it's like, ii desu ne. Good choice. So yeah, suggesting to him like, soba desu ka? Oh, soba? Good choice. Right? Oh, soba? Good choice. Right? And then next sentence, watashi mo so shimasu. Right? The mo is also, right? So I also so shimasu. So what is so? So is basically whatever that was mentioned before. What was mentioned? Soba ni shimasu. That means he will order soba. So that means this guy also want to order soba. Right? So shimasu. Watashi mo so shimasu. I also like that also.
Is there any other word other than this so?
To refer to previous like that, so only. Okay, then K says, nomimono wa dou shimasu ka? So nomimono wa, right? So about the drinks, about drinks, dou shimasu ka? So what to do? So dou also means how, right? Or what, right? So how do you want to do the drinks? Like how do you want to order? Right? So dou shimasu ka? So how about the drinks? Then he says, orange juice ni shimasu. Right? I will do orange juice. K says, sumimasen. Soba to orange juice to cola. Cola is just Coca-Cola. Cola. O onegai shimasu. Right, please. Right, onegai shimasu. Then S say, hai, kashikomarimasu. A bit hard to pronounce this one. A bit difficult to pronounce lah. Kashikomarimasu. Yes. So basically it just means wakarimashita. So wakarimashita is like polite. Kashikomarimasu is honorific level. It's like one level higher. Usually it's service standard. They have to say this kind of thing. Service level.
You didn't say it before, right?
Because you're not Japanese, but they say for you also don't want to appreciate.
So they usually say the Japanese only lah.
Yeah lah. Like the Japanese waiter tell you kashikomarimasu, you also don't know how to appreciate. Instead they scared, they confuse you with what they just say. You be like, huh? Then they have to explain to you, oh no, I mean wakarimashita. Right, so they might say tell you, wakarimashita. Since you don't even know what the hell is kashikomari ma, they assume that you don't know. So they don't waste the honorific word on you lah. Right?
I just realized that the English down here say excuse me 2 soba, but then after that the Japanese never say it's 2 soba.
The translation is not accurate, I can tell you.
Oh.
I
Then
am
you say 2 soba, what we say?
the one you go on to E2, I'll tell you. Because in Chinese, how we order 2 2碗, right? So we have to use the 碗, we have to use the counter. We will learn in E2.
So say 2 bowl.
Yeah lah. Yeah, so we'll learn the counting in E2. So don't worry about it now. Okay, so for now, but basically, I have been teaching this lesson by giving you the direct translation of word for word, like what it means. So if you refer to the translation, they are just translating in a way that is easy for you to understand, but it does not 100% reflect what the words actually mean. Right? So if you haven't realized that, yeah, that's the way how I teach lah. I will tell you like this word is exactly this meaning. That's why when you phrase it together, then it means like that. Right? So any questions about this conversation? No questions. Okay, then we have 3 person. Think we haven't had Ian, right? And Jin Kun. Okay, then maybe we have Shri, Jin Kun, and Ian. Okay, Shri can be the shop staff. Then Jin Kun can be Kimura-san. Then Tanaka-san will be Ian. Here we go.
いらっしゃいませ。
Mm-hmm.
メニューをお願いします。
はい、少々お待ちください。どうぞ。
この店は初めまして。
は
初めてです。
そうですか。この店の食べ物は美味しいですよ。何を食べますか？
じゃあ親子丼にします。木村さんは何を食べますか？
私はそばにします。
そばですか？いいですね。私もそうします。
飲み物はどうしますか？
オレンジジュースにします。
すいません。そばとオレンジジュースとコーラをお願いします。
はい、かしこまりました。
Oh, very good. But then the front part a bit weird, like konomise. Pronounce after me, konomise.
この店。
Konomise.
この店。
I think just now it sounded a bit too flat. Like konomise. Like it sounded like some robotic voice. Okay, next one. 食べますか？
食べました。
食べますか？
食べました。
Right? It sounded like very weird. Just sounded in the middle. The letters was jumbled up. And then, and it's mise, by the way. It's mise, not mise, not Z-E. It's S-E, not Z-E. I heard a lot of mise just now. Mise. Okay, and then the back part was very good. The front part was the one with a lot of problem. 初めて。Yeah, so this is basically it means 始めます but the T form. But we will learn again in E2. Okay, next. I think everything is fine. Everything was fine already. Should be okay. So this is how a restaurant situation will go down lah. So the waitress will be very polite. They will use a higher level Japanese grammar with you. If you don't understand, then just like wakarimasen. Just tell her wakarimasen, then she will speak English.
It's the word to say the food is very nice, something like
食べ物は美味しいです。
that. Like telling the person who cook for you. There's a sentence.
No, the one is at the end of the meal. Right, you thank for the meal, right?
Yeah.
That one is we have that in the first lesson. Gochiso-sama desu. Gochiso-sama desu. Okay, so when you use that is when we leave the restaurant premises. Then on the way out, then we say Gochiso-sama desu. Because they will say thank you to you. They'll be like arigatou gozaimasu. That means like thank you for coming. Then you can reply gochiso-sama desu. Alright? Oh, I had a good meal. Thank you for the meal. Alright? So that is the conversation 8. So that means we finished lesson 8 already. If you want, you can start on lesson 8 homework. So basically next week I'll go through lesson 6 and 7 homework. Lesson 8, if you want to start doing, it's up to you. If you want to keep until next week, it's fine. I will not go through lesson 8. Okay, then next week I will also go through lesson 9. Lesson 9 is about giving and receiving. it's a very big culture of Japanese culture, like how to receive something properly, how to give something properly, how to say that someone received this and received that. It's a little bit complicated, so I'll recommend you attend the lesson instead. Yeah, giving and receiving is very important. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, I can answer them as well now.